Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Lions 1st and 10 from the Cowboy 13. Goff up under center, single back gives. They give it to Jameer, running outside. Got a blocker, down to the 10, to the 5, to the end zone. Wave to him. He's gone, baby. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Tristan Colon with a nice block to help spring him 13 yards, and the Lions can double up their lead with the extra point.
Thank you to the Lions Radio Network for that one. Really the nail in the coffin last night. 44-30 is your final score, Pearl. We knew that both teams were going to want to come out scoring in this one. And obviously Detroit really found their mojo. Amon-Ra St. Brown, questionable going into this game, but excellent, especially on those final drives. Now Detroit's playoff chances have greatly increased no matter what website you check. Looks around 45%, near 50%. And the Dallas Cowboys are going the opposite direction. Good morning.
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons they scored is because they started every drive at like the Dallas 45-yard line. I don't know really what was happening for the Cowboys on the kickoff team, but the Cowboys kind of hurt themselves. And I there were so many things the Cowboys did that would have made me mad if I was a fan. So many little things.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Go through it.
Why? I mean, listen, I think Herbie said the analytics didn't say to go for on fourth down. You have to go for every fourth down because every time you gave the ball back to Detroit, they were just going to chew up clock and get first downs. You couldn't stop it at all. I felt like Schottenheimer should have been totally aggressive on every fourth down, knowing that the defense was not up to the task of stopping the Lions' offense.
100%. Yeah, and so, I always talk about this. Play the game you're in.
You say that, but I think you have to be consistent. I disagree with that theory. Like, you have to have a fourth down philosophy and stick with it. You can't decide this game is going to be a fourth down game and that game is not going to be a fourth down game. But that's sort of where I feel like you're going.
I'm not trying to have it both ways. What I'm saying is you got to play the game you're in. I'm actually backing you up because I thought where Brian Schottenheimer made a big mistake is the 4th and 3 at the end of the game. When it's a 2-score game and they kick the field goal to make it 37-30, you're 4th and 3 at the Detroit 11. Your defense hasn't stopped the Lions since the second quarter. I mean, really, you got a blocked kick. That was it. That's the only stop that they got, Pearl.
What about the 4th and 4 at the 20?
I would say again. Yeah. Yes, but was that after a Dak Prescott sack?
No. It was an incompletion.
Okay.
But let me ask you this question.
So I don't think it's one size fits all, but I do think when you're trailing fourth quarter and you have it's 4th and 3 at the 11, I think that is appropriate to go for it because your defense is getting torched.
But to complete this assignment, though, I need you to come in on a Monday and say that was the right call on the fourth down. It didn't work and the team lost. But it seems like the winning team always has the play the game you're in. If you say, they lost, but they were making the right calls on fourth down, then I will believe the play your game you're in.
I don't know. Dan Campbell last night on 4th and longs was not going for it. He was not doing weird things and trying to be over aggressive. They were aggressive, no doubt. They were taking shots downfield, the explosive plays. Dallas defense could not get to Jared Goff in any meaningful way to make him uncomfortable. He, navigated whatever kind of pressure they brought towards him, I thought, in a really great way. Jared Goff was good last night.
Well, right, but Campbell didn't go because they were 4th and long.
They were 4th and long?
He doesn't go on 4th and long.
All right, but I'm just saying, you're saying there's a one-size-fits-all on fourth down, and I just disagree on that. I think you got to play the game you're in, but I think the bigger takeaway here is what you and I really disagree on, and we'll get to the bad calls that happened to this game and how Dallas really, kind of sputtered in the red zone and the 3 turnovers just really killed them. But Dallas is done. And I'm sorry, I don't see this colossal fall off that the Eagles are all of a sudden going to stop knowing how to play football, and all of a sudden that's going to leave open the division. Because, Pearl, that feels like the only way that Dallas has a prayer is now to win the NFC East. And the Eagles have a similarly easy schedule that Dallas does. You get to play the Commanders twice. You get to play the Raiders. Boom. Those are your wins right there. You win those 3, you win the division.
Why are you so sure they're going to beat the Commanders twice?
Well, because the Commanders are not playing with their starting quarterback and because you have everything to play for.
Wait, but they
may come back, but what's Jaden Daniels going to look like when he come back and he's hampered?
Okay, but that's true. Also, now there is a wild card scenario. At 10-6-1, they need the Niners and the Bears to implode completely. Possible. The one thing that you have to realize is the Packers, Bears, Niners all start playing each other. So there is a chance you will get a total implosion out of somebody. And also now you're going to need the Lions to lose out. Kind of. But
Bro, the Niners play Tennessee and at Indiana, where Daniel Jones has a fracture in his leg. Like,
well, I mean, are they even favored in that? Well, they're underdogs in that one, right?
I'm just saying, I think there are still more W's here. It's like you're basically painting a scenario. I don't want to give the Cowboy fan false hope here. Painting a scenario where everyone in the NFC has to completely die on the vine to somehow part the waters so that Dallas can come in and get a playoff game. It's over. It's just over.
So the Lions, for example, play the Rams. Let's say they lose at LA. They'll be probably a pretty big underdog. Then they're 8-6. Then they come into a desperate Bears team in week 17. I feel like the Bears are going to be the team that's left out, even though they're the number one seed right now. There's a chance that everybody implodes and they don't get to all 3-11 teams for the wild card. So basically, you need 3-11 and 6 teams in the wild card spot. Likely, but not 100% secured. So there's a small window there. And then, of course, the Eagles could totally implode because we saw it 2 years ago. I mean, they lost to a Bears team who could not throw the football 2 weeks by double digits. Well, they lost 24-15. So there's a chance. I mean, the Eagles don't look good right now.
I don't know. I mean, Eagles have some gifts here on the schedule, right? You're gonna lose to the Raiders? No,
you give you the Raiders, but yeah, they could definitely blow some of these divisional games. They did it 2 years ago. Possible.
Yeah, I just don't see it as that dire. I'm sorry, Dallas fans. Like, I'm not going to do this thing where I twist myself in a pretzel to look at every other team and how they have to lose to get you in. I'm sorry. It was a great run at the end here. You beat Philadelphia. You beat the Kansas City Chiefs. You go to Detroit. And quite frankly, I thought Detroit played with a lot more urgency. I thought that Brian Schottenheimer was outcoached in the game last night. It looked like the Lions have played in big games and the Dallas Cowboys had not played in big games. I think Matt Eberflus, your defensive coordinator's got to go. I think there are in some ways, like this game, your team didn't feel ready for. They get themselves in these deep holes, and they have to rely on coming back, and on the road, that is really hard. And you come out of halftime and Dak Prescott throws a terrible pick. And you know what? Kudos to them for getting back into this game. At one point, it was a 3-point game. But your defense could, to quote my friend Bart Scott, couldn't stop a nosebleed. And that's a problem. And so this is why when Quinnen Williams got traded, Pearl, I said it's about next year. And by the way, where was Quinnen last night? I mean, milk carton. But anyway.
So if it's about next year.
It's about next year.
Why? I'm just curious. Why are they going to be better on defense?
Because they need to add some pieces and they need a new defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I mean,
at least you can make changes in the offseason.
Obviously, the big problem is signing Pickens next year.
So let's talk about George Pickens because he is getting absolutely crushed on social media because he appears to give up on some routes. What did you see last night?
There were 6 guys on him. Anyway, they obviously they have to re-sign him. He was obviously quite bothered by it. There was a terrible call. There was one bad call against him, and there was another horrible call on Jake Ferguson.
Yeah, the pass interference was insane.
By the way, I mean, listen, I don't see this as such a sign of trouble. Honestly, I said, what's going to be fixed? This is an impossible game. You had a desperate Lions team at home. Of course they're going to go off. They're totally selling out. They're going to totally use Jahmyr Gibbs to the hilt. They're not saving him at all because they're in a must-win situation. And Jared Goff stepped up and played a great game under pressure. I don't know. I'm not worried about the Cowboys. I think they have an outside shot this year, and their defense does look good with this. If they can sign George Pickens, because I think that is the massive, massive drama of the offseason, because he's going to demand, $40 million a year?
Well, they can franchise tag him. I mean, that's available to them.
Yeah. I mean, it's also available for me to go pour lighter fluid on my hair, light my hair on fire to make this point.
Yeah.
If they franchise tag George Pickens, then talk about a circus. Oh, my God. He's going to be so miserable.
Or he just won't show up and we'll just do this song and dance
like Brandon Ayuk, yeah.
It's going to be the same old thing.
But
I disagree. First, I'll agree with you on one point and disagree on another. I thought that George Pickens definitely let the officials get in his head. And yes, there were some bad calls, but you're talking about the Lions team played desperate. The Cowboys should have been twice as desperate.
It's hard to win on the road.
All right. Well, I mean,
let's be realistic.
Or you could say that they let one slip away, or you could say that they got outcoached and outclassed. Because you want to know what? You just beat the 2 teams that played in last year's Super Bowl. And so I think, and Dak Prescott even said it before the game, we're not scared. Sky's the limit. He's talking tough. Tells Kelly Hartung, you can print it. Whatever he said before the game, he was very, very confident. And I thought they went out and did not play their best. And clearly, and Detroit felt like they had all the urgency in the world. And that's where I come back to, it felt like the Lions had been in a big game before, and these Cowboys hadn't, or Brian Schottenheimer hasn't, or whatever, because there did not feel like there was the same urgency that the Lions were playing with. Meanwhile, the Cowboys' playoff chances are cratering.
Well, let me ask you this: when you saw this, like
33 and a third chance of winning,
this 3-game
cratered.
schedule with Philly and Dallas, Kansas City and Dallas, and at Detroit 3 weeks ago, when you looked at that, what did you say the hardest challenge was?
I thought probably either the Eagles or Kansas City. Because to be honest, the Lions have been so up and down this year. Let's not act like, they've been this runaway train. They were really good last night.
Oh, I thought it was absolutely going to Detroit because the Cowboys have been really good at home. The Eagles and the Chiefs are not good on the road.
I know, but Detroit just lost at home to the Packers, right? They have not been, amazed. They haven't not been perfect at home either. So,
yeah, I mean, the Cowboys are now 2-5 on the road.
Yeah, it's not
good. No, their superpower
Can't
is
lose
being
to
at home.
Carolina.
But honestly, that was desperation. We talked about it yesterday with Nick Costos, and I think you can't measure it. That is pure desperation. Detroit is way too good a team to just give up on the season. So that was a rough assignment for Dallas last night, especially because Detroit, like at some point, they have to save Jahmyr Gibbs a little bit. Like, remember they used to do
Montgomery was pretty good for them last night.
Yeah, I know, but they don't like to use him anymore. I know that Gibbs didn't have that many carries last night, but he had a lot of touches. It felt like he was pretty much their only target. So they're just going to sell out at home. I just think that was a desperate Lions team they ran into. I'm not going to kill the Cowboys for that. I didn't love that Shoddy should have realized that they couldn't stop him on defense. He's just got this super weapon in Brandon Aubrey, and he wants to bring it out there. I get that. I mean, the field goals are awesome, but I think with the new kickoff rules, like the field goals should go by the wayside. It should be a 4-down league. Like, what are you doing? You just know the kickoff's coming, especially the Cowboys' special team is terrible. You just knew the kickoff was coming back to midfield every single time.
Yeah, the kickoff coverage, the punt coverage, it's terrible, which is funny because they have two of maybe the best special teams players in the league.
Well, if you think Kevontae Turpin is one of the best special teams,
no.
That guy,
I'm talking about the punter and the kicker.
Yeah, I mean, Turpin's an all-pro. He's the starting all-pro, and he can't seem to decide if he's fair catching it or not all season long. He's been an adventure on every single punt. He's very talented, but he's all over the place. But then again, listen, if the Cowboys go 10-6-1, that means you're going to have the Eagles at 11 wins and 3 11-win wild cards. Likely, but not a total guarantee.
So this is what I'm seeing online, okay? If Dallas wins out, you got to win out.
Easy. That I'm giving them. That's a done deal.
Okay, well, there are road games on their schedule.
Yeah, that's a problem. But at Washington, it makes me a little nervous. But I'll give them 4 wins, 10-6-1. Book it.
All right. If they win out, this is what I'm seeing, 40% chance to get in.
Okay.
You got a 25% at best.
Did you say 40?
Yeah, 40. That's not good, Pearl. Right now,
That's amazing.
It sits at 9.
I thought
Their chance to make the playoffs today is 9%.
Right, but they are, if they need to, they can win out this thing.
They needed to win last night and couldn't do it. Like, let's keep it
40%. That's
40%.
4 out of 10.
Yeah,
that's almost 50%.
That you are an eternal optimist. I didn't realize.
Well,
only with the Cowboys, though.
I do think that they have a great chance to run the table here. We'll see.
Add 66 and 2/3%. I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning.
Are you kidding me?
I think the biggest challenge is next week or whatever they play the Chargers. If they win that game to go 7-6-1.
That's in 2 weeks. They have Minnesota first.
Oh, they Minnesota. Okay. So to get the win over, if they can't be Minnesota, then what are we doing here? Then that Chargers game in Dallas, if they could get that, then I think that they come in with a desperate air for those final 2 games. And 40%, I thought you were going to say.
Both on the road, by the way, at Washington, at the New York Giants. I mean, Giants are going to be playing for absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say 8%.
Well, it's 9% today. That's
right,
the 9% chance. If they win out, this is what I'm seeing from some of my metrics.
I mean, you could
40%.
say
Maggie
if.
method.
I prefer to say when.
I wonder if Cowboy fans are as optimistic as Pearl. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Are the Cowboys done?
Listen, what's a safer bet? That the Cowboys are going to win 4 straight games or that the Chargers will be remotely healthy in 2 weeks? I mean, who knows? I mean, there are advances in the medical field, but they could actually keep themselves all together by week 16. That never happens. So, yeah, when the Cowboys win out at 10-6-1, will they make the playoffs? That's the poll question.
Are you asking me?
I'm sorry, Cowboy fans. It's over. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Let us know what you think. And meanwhile, on the Detroit side, are they back? Are they alive? We're going to see Green Bay and the Bears play this weekend, and they still have another matchup in 2 weeks. So, I don't know. Jahmyr Gibbs, 120 yards from scrimmage last night, 3 touchdowns, all those explosive plays. The defense, 5 sacks, 3 turnovers.
Well, that's what
Not
we
bad.
really, I mean, the defense finally woke up, by the way. They've been not good. But that's what we really should be talking about is those 3 NFC North teams. Of course, the Cowboys get all our attention, but that is a battle royale.
No kidding.
Yeah, I want to put my hat on the Packers to come out of this mix.
Well, I mean, Jordan Love is probably playing the best.
Well, it's really, for me, it's the Packers defense, too.
Yeah.
Where I don't
Michael
trust this Lions
Parsons.
defense. Even last night, they are relatively healthy. But I don't know why Aiden Hutchinson just doesn't scare me as much as he used to scare me. It felt like the Cowboys could have scored a lot of points last night. They left some on the table.
Yeah, got a nice sack last night. Anyway, okay, 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Are the Cowboys done? Maggie and Perloff show. Pearl, you know I hate to come on here and brag, but who faded LeBron James last night in Prize Picks?
Oh, my God.
And he had
What a time
8
to fade.
points. I know, stopped his double-digit streak. I'm not reveling in this by any means, but I'm just saying it made me win my bet because I also had Dak Prescott over passing yards. And so, cha-ching for your girl. And this is why we love Prize Picks. We're obsessed with it. We're always trying to measure how good are we at actually predicting things when it comes to Prize Picks. And what's so cool about it, you pick 2 to 6 players now. 2 to 6. Pick more or less on their stat projections and then watch your lineups light up like a Christmas tree. This is the time of year to get in on Prize Picks. Of course, we're obsessed.
Yeah, and know what the best part is? Right now, they have early payouts. If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you may now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. So when LeBron's at 5 points at halftime, you can cash out, Maggie. Don't miss any of the action this season with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code MNP and get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code MNP on Prize Picks to get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
You're in a 4-minute break. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining. "30 seconds remaining. "15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff. About a month ago, I got on the Cowboys are going to surprise everyone and make the playoffs rant and start off well, beating the Eagles and then beating the Chiefs. Kind of took a side turn last night. Now, I admit part of the problem is for my Cowboys making the playoffs is that those stupid Niners and Bears and Packers keep winning football games. So it's the rest of the NFC, and I also blame EJ a little bit.
Wow, you're not going to blame the actual Cowboys themselves?
No.
You said to take a left turn last night, take a nosedive, but yeah, that could have been to the left.
Well, they actually didn't nosedive that far. I think I saw it coming in the game, they were 9%, right?
No, 17% yesterday coming in. Now it's 9%. It dropped.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's hardly a nosedive because they were, yeah.
When you're that far down to the ground, can you nosedive? I don't know.
But part of the problem is that the rest of the NFC keeps beating the AFC, the garbage teams in the AFC. So now you're going to have 11 wins to get in the playoffs. Most seasons, 10 wins, 10 and a half because of the tie, get you in. So that's kind of an annoying part of this thing. I think at 10-6-1, I am not counting them out because there could be total chaos at the bottom of the NFC. And you actually gave me good news. I didn't even think the Next Gen Stats would give them 40% if they win out.
If they win out, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to win out, Maggie.
Wait, why is this EJ's fault?
Because he represents the AFC in my mind because he's a Jets fan.
What? How does that make any sense?
He's the last person who should represent the AFC.
The AFC is pretty bad. The NFC's been quietly kicking the AFC's butt for a couple years. The AFC has these high-end quarterbacks that gets all the love, when the NFC is really a much better conference. So especially this year. So basically everyone's been accumulating wins. You're going to need a lot of wins to get in the playoffs, which is actually the Lions' problem. Like the Lions at 8-5, normally you'd feel pretty good, but now it's a very dicey situation in the NFC. But you're probably going to have to be 11-6. Now, I have a question for you. We'll get if the Cowboys finish 10-6-1 and miss the playoffs by a half game.
Yeah,
are Cowboys fans going to feel good, or are they going to feel disappointed?
Well, it depends. How does the defense look? I think it really does depend on that. But I think ultimately, considering how the season started, you'd probably be okay with an upward trend, showing that the team did get better because the Micah Parsons trade, obviously, and the whole Micah Parsons offseason put such a shadow over the team. And then I thought the moves they made, Kenny Clark and Quinnen Williams and, making some changes. I just think you need a new defensive coordinator. And I'm a little nervous about Schottenheimer after last night. And he had gotten a lot of praise. Because
that's funny. That feels a little week to week because he was like coach of the year last week.
I know, but that's what a 2-game winning streak will do for you.
Well,
I guess.
Kind of outcoached Andy Reid, and for what it's worth.
And you got Nick Sirianni.
What's that?
And Perloff's got Nick Sirianni.
Future Hall of Famer Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel like a lot of people were praising Eberflus coming into this game too.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, the Philadelphia offense has its own issues. I don't know if that was necessarily. I mean, Dallas defense looked good, but obviously Philly's offense is totally broken, and the Kansas City offense can't run the ball.
It feels harsh that you're getting after Eberflus like this. I feel like they've made some changes, but they're clearly still an edge pass rusher away from being a complete defense.
EJ, they gave up 44 points last night.
I know, but I feel like they've buckled down against the Eagles. They buckled down against the Chiefs to at least be respectable. I mean, they were one of the worst defenses in the NFL. I think Eberflus, if you give him a big-time pass rusher in this draft or through the trade or whatever, I think their defense could be different next year.
I don't know. I didn't like how they handled the end of the game. Like, you're in this game and you're doing this really lax coverage and was not being aggressive, and all you had to do at the end was force a 3 and out. I know hard because you had not been doing that all year, or all game, but come up with one stand and give the ball back to Dak Prescott, and all of a sudden they're lagging off and letting these big gains happen. I was really disappointed by that.
Damn act together.
I was shocked that the Cowboys even turned this thing around, even with Quentin Williams. I don't think they're a good defense at all. I don't think they have enough good players. You don't have enough
linebackers.
Bland is finally getting more healthy, but you don't have any corners. You got a guy in Cincinnati who was a bench player who now he's been your savior at linebacker. I mean, they don't got the horses to me.
Also, I've seen a little of this coming out of Dallas where Trayvon Diggs, who did not play in the game but had been practicing all week, like, what happened? Would you have rather had a not 100% Trayvon Diggs as opposed to the rookie who was out there last night getting cooked?
Siobhan Rivell, they were picking on him. Yeah. That was a problem. And is Deron Bland okay? Anyone know? Because I've never seen an ankle breaker than what Jahmyr Gibbs did to him. Oh, yeah. They're trying to put a corner on Gibbs, and that didn't even help. Listen, Detroit, Jahmyr gave them to death on the pass game last night. I'm not killing. That's hard. That's a hard assignment. Can we give everyone thinks the Lions are not the same Lions? Is that what we're talking about?
Because Dan Campbell called a good game last night.
But most teams get destroyed by the Lions offense. Like, this is not necessarily, especially when you're going to give them every drive starting at the 45-yard line. I'm just not sure that you can count that as any normal game. I think that's a really hard assignment. And by the way, of course, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Why would we have thought that he wasn't playing? That dude is tough as nails. In the NFL, you could shoot up guys right before the game. Of course he was out there, and of course he was effective. And Jameson Williams is really, really good. So, I don't know. Yes, I gave up 44 to Detroit, but does that mean that everything they've done before doesn't count? I'm not sure I agree with that.
Here's Brian Schottenheimer saying the defense did not play good enough to win.
Thought they played hard, gave up too many explosives, and then, of course, just couldn't. When we'd get a little momentum, we just couldn't get a stop. And so the complimentary football wasn't what it's been over the last couple weeks. And when you play a good football team like this on the road, unfortunately, when you do that, it's going to be hard to win.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Third quarter on, let's go to the second half. They obviously come up with the interception, leads to a touchdown 2 plays later. They did get a field goal blocked, but then a field goal, a touchdown. I mean, they had everything cooking. Tyrone is in Dallas. We're asking today, are the Cowboys done? What's up, Tyrone?
What's going on? Good morning, man. Cowboy fans need to stop the faith in this team, drop the belief in they going to the playoffs. The Cowboys need to shut the season down and open up the shop on a better draft pick. I'm going to tell y'all this. Our head coach is calling out our defensive coordinator. There is no way you sit back and play coverage with this rookie corner. He's coming off a knee injury and just let him play and just, keep getting killed. Now, you got to get that kid some help. A corner needs confidence, and our defensive coordinator did not give that young corner confidence at all. I do not like the way our defensive coordinator called the game. And Eberflus does need to be fired. I don't think you get him a pass rush and he'll be better next year. Nah, this is his defense.
Yeah, Tyrone, wait, one quick thing, though. I was thinking about this last night. Thank you for the call. Sorry, your phone line's a little weird. Pearl, so Trayvon Diggs, again, corner, right? Paid him $100 million. Practices all week, does not play. A little weird, right? But, things happen. I'm not going to question a guy's toughness because I'm sitting on my couch miles and miles away. But I was wondering about this. Does anyone think Trayvon Diggs is going to be on the team next year? No.
No chance.
No chance.
Wait, so they can get out without a big hit?
No, I think they'll trade him. I think they're trying to keep him healthy. Now, listen, you needed him last night. I think it's possible.
Isn't he? I thought he had a big albatross of a contract. But
he has a big contract, but they must have gotten through some of those years at this point because they gave it to him at least 2 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, they have potential out. This is the year they have the potential out.
I was wondering, I'm
For
like,
free.
are they trying?
Not for free, but like a $17 million dead cap.
Which you can spread over 2
$70 million
years.
dead cap on a cornerback, that's a lot.
You can spread it over 2 years to mitigate it. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
I think that, is there any chance they're just trying to keep him healthy, to keep him as a trade asset?
I thought the opposite. I don't think he wants to play for them. I think
you think he took himself out?
I mean, the way Jerry's talked about the fact that he wasn't in the right shape to come back from his original injury, and that's why he hurt his other knee, and the way Diggs has talked about the Parsons situation, the way Parsons talked about Diggs. Remember the first practice in training camp, Diggs is sitting there with his arm around Parsons, talking about how rough it is that Parsons didn't get his contract. I wouldn't be surprised if Parsons is trying to get him to Green Bay. I don't think that Diggs wants any part of this. I think that in many ways, Parsons and Diggs are kind of like a package deal. Those guys are very close.
Yeah.
And that whole situation, Parsons is still talking about Diggs' situation now.
Yeah, he's burnt toast on the field, by the way.
He's not good either.
But he's not going to
Bland.
He probably would have been better than the rookie last night.
Yeah.
Bland, burnt toast.
I had some other dad jokes, but Bland got paid too, right?
Yes, he did.
I mean, that's a problem. They're two high-profile cornerbacks cannot cover anymore. Diggs is. I would be surprised. Like Diggs might even be like Jalen Ramsey, have to move to safety. Like he has not been good the last few times I've seen him. But regardless, like, what do you expect? You're blaming Eberflus. How are you going to help Ravel? Tyrone was talking about. Like with who? With what? You have to put 8 guys up front because Jahmyr Gibbs is gashing you with screen passes. I'm not sure that was a big option.
Let's get to Bogusch, who's got the latest headlines. Hello.
Guys, good morning. Your headlines are sponsored by Prize Picks. On Prize Picks, you simply pick 2 to 6 players, choose more or less, and watch your lineups light up like the holidays. Download Prize Picks and use code PRIMETIME and get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details. When the Cowboys had that beloved comeback against the Eagles a few weeks ago, their defense pitched a second-half shutout. No such luck last night in Detroit.
Lions 1st and 10 from the Cowboy 13. Goff up under center, single back gives. They give it to Jahmyr, running outside. Got a blocker, down to the 10, to the 5, to the end zone. Wave to him. He's gone, baby. Touchdown, Detroit Lions.
That's Lions radio. Jahmyr Gibbs' 3rd rushing touchdown of Thursday Night Football, followed by Dak Prescott's 2nd interception, gave Detroit a much-needed 44-30 home win. They are now 8-0 at home in primetime under Dan Campbell.
Proud of the guys. They rallied, man. They showed up. The work was there all week. It always is, but the intensity, the urgency, the guys don't ever get frazzled. They don't get panicked. They just go to work, and they did it again.
At 8-5 now, the Lions have a 54% chance of making the postseason. The Cowboys, meanwhile, on life support after loss number 6. The fight continues, though, says Dak.
We've got great veteran leaders. I think guys are pissed off right now. I don't think this is any deflated moment like, oh, hands are up, we're done. You know what I mean? Like, no, absolutely not.
After this mini bye, the Cowboys host the Vikings next Sunday night. Eagles D-tackle Jalen Carter had some kind of medical procedure done to both of his shoulders this week. He will not face the Rams in L.A. Monday night and is week to week after that. Iowa State's Matt Campbell is the next head coach that gets to say no to Penn State. He's apparently their new top target after Kalani Sitake stayed at BYU this week, and Kalen DeBoer said yesterday he has no interest in any other job.
I kind of believe DeBoer. We talk about how college coaches are just lying constantly, and Matt Campbell will probably use this either if he actually takes the job, probably be a miracle, or he'll just get a new contract with Iowa State.
Yep.
But I don't know, Pro. When I was listening to Kalen DeBoer yesterday, he's like, I don't know where this came from. I didn't have any conversations. I never believed college coaches, but I believed him.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense to leave Alabama for Penn State. That would be really weird, right?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Guys in the SEC championship game. I know he missed the playoff last year, but I think it's crazy if you think Alabama, even if they get blown out by Georgia, I think they're still going to the playoff. I do not think they're leaving the SEC champion runner-up.
Yeah.
Because then the SEC championship game will cease to exist.
I do agree, but is there a chance an agent was out there trying to, I don't even know what
get him a contract extension?
Get some leverage on Alabama, just say, hey, don't mess with my guy. he's wanted out there.
Yeah, or maybe just
possible.
And listen, everyone else got paid off this Penn State job, so I guess why not DeBoer? But
I mean, it seems like college coaches, their agents are always like, for example, and I'm not faulting Diana's report, but that Sark wants to go to the Titans. That certainly seemed like a leverage play by somebody. Why do agents of coaches keep on leaking out interest from other schools?
Yeah, for the money.
It's a game.
Yeah.
And I think maybe DeBoer got caught up in that. You're right. But also, you make a mistake. Never, ever believe a college coach.
I know. They're such liars.
Like, it's a
All of
sport
them.
that's built on a massive lie, so your entire profession is a bunch of liars. And plays out at every single level. The ADs, the coaches.
Can I ask you
everyone's
this
just
question?
a stone cold liar.
Maybe this is a poll question.
Yeah.
Who do you think lies more, college football coaches or college basketball coaches?
Well, college basketball coaches, no, that's a different animal altogether.
True.
I mean, if they're actually classified in science class as reptiles. I mean, they got nothing. They got nothing.
They're sociopaths. It's true.
That's a sport that was designed by Sonny Vaccaro. I mean, there is not.
Yeah.
You can't
They sell
possibly.
sneakers.
I don't know if it's like that anymore, but I'm thinking in the old days when you couldn't pay players, like you had to bend the rules.
I feel like you could have a college basketball coach on camera literally being handed a bag of money and they just be like, that's not me. It's like, it is you, coach.
Yeah.
It's you.
And I don't blame them. I mean, it's what's called a black market, right? Like you had to pay players. So.
I mean, we got guys on tape organizing payments to players, and they're all still working again. Sean Miller has a job again. Will Wade's got better jobs.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter.
No, they were like the creme de la creme of the hiring cycle.
Rick Pitino was actually on a moral high horse the other day talking about college
Lane
football.
Kiffin.
Yeah, that was crazy.
He's like, that's where we are.
Rick Pitino weighed in and was like, something's broken here. It's like, yeah, Rick, you broke it.
I think he said in his
multiple
tweet.
times.
I think he said in his tweet too. I might not be the right guy to say this, but
Let me get this take off.
Because I think, and I know recruiting isn't what it once was, but you have to go on the recruiting trail and tell lies about the other schools and yourself and everything. You're a salesman.
No, Patino has said this. He doesn't recruit anymore.
Well,
he
okay,
just
but
gets
generally.
presented people and money, and they figure out who they're going to have.
Right. But I think college coaches in their DNA is like they're always selling their program and denigrating the other programs.
Yes.
So you
Not when
have
they're
to be
about to
kind of a
commit
salesman.
fraud.
It's just so funny that Patino, of all people, is just like, were there hookers in the building? It's like, no. It's like, yes. Yes, there were. I'm sorry. Is that not politically correct anymore?
Lady of the street.
Yeah.
Of the night, I think they prefer.
Yeah.
night.
Is that
Are you
they
guys
prefer it?
Whatever. We're not allowed to say
Not allowed to say
a
the
three-letter
Santa Claus.
word that is on ESPN again about 100 times a day, but we can't say it.
Are we
we
sure
have
we
taste.
can't say it?
Of course we could say it. Do you
I
think
don't
I
think
would
so.
guarantee
All right,
I
you
could
go
say it
first.
50 times and there would never hear a peep from anybody. I won't, but they were talking about the garden tool three-letter word.
Yeah.
Just watch ESPN and you'll hear them talk about it.
A little too much nipple. Yeah, I know. I can't defend us, but we don't say that word. I don't know why that's our line in the sand.
Oh, we have way too many lines in the sand. Anyway. I've always felt that you guys are all too sensitive about the FCC.
Are you serious? You basically
Yes, I've
leave
always
the
thought-
room when these conversations
Manny
happen.
and EJ dump things that Pat McAfee wouldn't even air because they're too clean.
Pat McAfee could pay them fines himself.
Right.
He is
By the way,
What?
I'm going to be honest.
Have you ever gotten a fine for our show, EJ? Come on.
Well, I almost got fined once because I mispronounced the GM of the Packers name once on WFAN. That one is a doozy.
He needs to get fired for all the rest of our safety.
Yeah, seriously. That one rhymes with something real bad. Anyway, Pat McAfee. Kudos to you flexing this other muscle. This is a joke, though, right? He put out a
song
called Dookie. This is a troll
Can't
job.
say that either.
I can't.
Oh, my God.
It's a great Green Day album. Green Day already did it.
Actually, I'm going to get real here for a second. Have you guys ever heard from the FCC? I'm just curious.
No. We're professionals.
I don't even know
But
if they do
maybe
that anymore. Have you ever heard of
management
any other show that's heard from the FCC? I have not.
No, because I think all of these things require somebody to report you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard of like any show that
we've
ran.
gotten emails about stuff that we've said, but not that there was an FCC violation.
Yeah,
No, 'cause
I've
you
never
can-
heard when we were at Dan Patrick Show in the iHeart universe. I never heard the FCC came down on a curse word or anything. Never heard of
Well,
a
probably
friend
because it
that-
gets dumped, right? Like, did
Well,
Dan
yeah.
Patrick ever accidentally swear in all your years there?
Oh, yeah, all the time. People guest swear it all the time, and most of the time it got dumped, but sometimes it slipped through. But I literally have not heard of that. I think people are clinging on to an old idea.
Have you seen the FCC lately?
What the hell is that?
They're pulling licenses from like
I assume there's like
PBS.
eight employees there. Yeah, I assume they gutted the FCC. And I actually have no
that
fear.
guy's powerful as ever. He's threatening everything.
But he probably doesn't have anybody to listen to the Maggie and Perloff show.
I don't like the insinuation. I think we're the FCC's favorite show. We're right up against the line.
I don't sense that there's 100 employees there to monitor radio shows. But anyway.
But that's never how. I don't think that's ever the way it was. I think they have a room of people with headphones on listening to shows. They're just waiting for like Nancy in Milwaukee to complain.
I just think
that's
that
how it works, yeah.
McAfee got on ESPN and started throwing out curse words like it was nothing at 12 noon Eastern.
Yep.
I just think the line has moved very drastically.
I think it's different. I think he's on cable, so I
know,
think
but come on.
there's a difference.
Yeah, but still.
But I thought it was a time of day. I thought still you couldn't curse until like after 10 p.m. or something.
No,
That's an old school thing.
Because, I mean, I was going to say, I watch Bravo all the time because I'm cool.
Yeah.
And the things that they say on those shows,
really?
Oh, my God, yes. Showing middle fingers, every curse word. And the one word I got bleeped the other day, like, there's the line.
Yeah. And by the way,
they have a line, but it is.
Wait, have you ever heard the John Mulaney stand-up comic thing about things you can't say on television? But then he talks about Law and Order Special Victims Unit. He's like, the victim had fecal matter in their ear canal. That's something I heard at 12 noon on CSI. Or
But
not CSI.
It's like, well, that's cable. Like, what do you mean? As compared to somebody with a TV that has like the
rabbit ears.
rabbit ears?
Yes.
I think if you have
How many people have that?
I think if you're on NBC or CBS, I think the rules are different.
Definitely.
Why? That's cable.
No, it's not.
I know. What is it though? I mean, like, how many people are realistically watching that on non-cable?
It doesn't matter. It's still free by definition.
I agree.
You guys say that, but I'd like to see show me the violation. Show me the violation in the last 15 years.
Tough guy, start cursing then.
I will not.
Okay,
I like to work clean, like Nate Bargatze.
Yeah, you and Seinfeld.
I just think you guys are all oversensitive to that kind of stuff. I think we could say that 3-letter word that is a garbage line.
Then
I'm just
say
throwing it
it.
out there. I won't. You say it, Bogues.
No. How about Shelby Harris says it? I am not.
I saw Damian Woody said it about 6 times in a row on ESPN.
By the way,
he's on a cable network.
That was last week's word of the week. This week's word of the week, I don't know what it is. We haven't decided yet.
Whatever curse Perloff comes up with before 10 a.m. this morning.
It's Jameer Gibbs just scored again.
So the FCC is only monitoring over-the-air radio and network TV that is getting caught with rabbit ears. So that means they're getting 2% of the content of the 100% of the content that is out there.
You know, I just
get out of here. We can curse away. Come on, throw some out, guys.
I don't know. ESPN did get. I'm reading the FCC's website. They did get a maximum penalty of $146,000 for 6 instances of apparently violating the rules of something. Here.
Oh, that's all McAfee, I'm sure.
Yeah.
They probably just bake it into his
oh, there you go. Okay.
Production costs.
Yeah, but this was last year, October. Which, yeah, McAfee's on. I mean, I'm assuming, I don't want to just say, hey, it was McAfee. I have no idea who did this, but they did get, there was a proposal to give them a $140,000 fine.
Okay. All right. So they're still on the P's and Q's. Good to know.
Yeah, bro. There you go. Someone reminded me of this recently. We got to take a break about the moment, I think Levitard show was talking about this recently, when Dennis Franz showed his backside on NYPD Blue.
That was a big deal.
It was a huge deal.
Huge.
Was he the one? It wasn't Jimmy Smith. It was Dennis Franz.
Yeah, which is the irony.
You don't want to see.
The worst looking guy.
The women were not the focus group of that particular decision. Those guys probably don't know what we're talking about. Okay, 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Got to take a quick break. Coming up, we will dive into the latest college football coaching rumors next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back. Maggie, great. Andrew Perloff talking about the Cowboys from last night. We'll get into some other topics as well. But asking you, is it over for Dallas? The numbers would say yes. They would seem to suggest. Right now, Cowboys have a 9% chance to make the playoffs because they lost last night. If they win out, from what I'm seeing from The Athletic, looks like 40% chance. But even that, Pearl, is like not that encouraging, 40%. Yeah. Meanwhile, Jason is in Texas, wants to talk about it. What's up, Jason?
Good morning. How you guys doing?
You know, we're good.
It's lovely, 40 degrees here today, and you guys are colder. It's going to be 81 tomorrow, so I'm happy.
81. It's 20 degrees here this morning.
You talked about Diggs earlier.
Yeah.
Diggs makes $19 million this year, $24 next. So they'll probably release him on the 1st. Hopefully June 1st they release him. And the Cowboys have 4 games left. They win them. I don't see it because the last 2 games are at Washington and they're playing in New Jersey the last game of the season, which is going to be freezing.
And you know what? On the Giants side of this, we have Giants fans in our life. Obviously, Bogish, Manny's not here today, but the Giants would mess around and win that game and take themselves out of like a higher draft pick, Pearl.
I don't know. Has Dak ever lost in the Meadowlands? He destroys the Giants. I mean, he destroys the Eagles, but he really destroys the Giants. So I guess maybe he has, but like I feel like that should be a win.
If the Eagles win 2 games. The Eagles win 2 games. They're done because the Eagles will have 10 wins. And if the Eagles they can't have 9 wins, and the Cowboys have 10. That's the only way.
Yeah, Jason, the odds are steep. And thank you for that on Diggs. Yeah, looking at if he's cut pre-June 1, that's where you get the $17 million dead cap hit that EJ was talking about. If you can somehow trade him pre-June 1, it goes down to $8 million. You might have to throw in some draft pick with it if you think that's important, or if you're really trying to make the math work, because you are going to need to do something with George Pickens. I still think that the franchise tag is totally possible, because the Cowboys have used the franchise tag on Dak Prescott multiple times, and end up screwing him over in the long run because they paid him more than they probably had to. But no, they'll do that.
So if the Giants did win in Week 18 when they're resting everybody, that would break a 14-game losing streak to Dak Prescott.
Wow.
And the Cowboys, if they were playing for something, that seems unlikely to me.
Well, you never know.
I mean, if you don't know that one, then you really never know.
Jason just called and said
Abdul Carter make the meeting so that he can play in the game.
Yeah. Well, Abdul Carter be basically sent home at that point.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if we're talking percentage-wise, if the Cowboys are still alive then, which is a big if, then if they lose that game, that would just be the funniest thing that ever happened. But I don't think they'll lose that game if they're still alive, which they might not be. You might not even be playing CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens at that point.
Well, by the way, what do you think's going on with CeeDee Lamb? Last night, he's balling out last night. CeeDee Lamb was good. 6 catches, 121 yards receiving, and he sells out, Pearl, to try to catch this pass on the sideline, and he goes down, hits himself kind of side of the head, and I thought it looked a little like fencer's pose. When the guys are knocked out cold and their arms kind of go up, it was not as blatant as the Tua fencer's pose from a couple of years ago, but Lamb has to be helped off the field, and he's obviously in concussion protocol. That dude was in a different dimension. Does he come back? I know they have a mini bye now because they played on a Thursday, but still.
The sideline reporter said that he wanted to come back. He was mad that they were taking him out then, so it gives you a little hope that maybe it wasn't so bad, but I don't even like to play that game.
No, I don't either, but I don't know if you can actually count on it.
Yeah, and to their credit, dude, they pulled him immediately, too.
You didn't need the independent neurologist for that one. Anyone who was sitting in the 100th row could have seen that he was totally out of it. So, I don't know. That was obviously a blow to them last night. I thought George Pickens last night, was double covered and appeared at times to not be selling out on some routes. And he's getting a lot of criticism, at least on social media. And Richard Sherman actually criticized him on the broadcast.
I would say, though, right, but they have a 1B now. I mean, Ryan Flournoy could not be covered last night until he lost that one at the end, but he was amazing.
What did Al Michaels said? It's a coming-of-age story. I was like, what?
We've been waiting for Flournoy for a long time. Like, he's a training camp darling. Part of the reason any of these guys look good, and even Pickens, is Dak is awesome. Dak was hanging in there. He was about to get demolished and was throwing basically off his back foot accurately downfield.
Yeah.
So Cowboys are going to be good offensively.
Bad interception, though. I mean, Dak, I'll agree with you, overall played well, but that pick out of the halftime was just I mean, you're already down, and, Detroit scores right before the end of the half, and you come out with the ball and with a perfect opportunity on the first play you threw a pick. It set them up in the red zone.
I have to look at the tape on that one. I'm assuming it was some receiver ran the wrong route. I always assume that. I always protect the quarterback.
I know. You got this love for the Cowboys that I don't really understand. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Are the Cowboys done? Give us a call. Coming up, we've got a major showdown this weekend. We're going to break it down for you next.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Prescott back and looking. A lot of time. Throws, middle, caught. 15, and then intercepted by the Lions. Bounced in and out of the hands of the receiver and picked up by DJ Reed. Ryan Flynn had it. DJ Reed said, I'll take it. And the Lions have it, and they've got this game. They've got this game.
Thank you to Lions Radio Network. 3 turnovers in all for the Cowboys last night, and Detroit goes on to win 44-30, and that was, with under 2 minutes left, Pearl, and the Cowboys trailing, and Dak Prescott trying to make a play. CeeDee Lamb was out of the game at that point. He had left with a concussion. He had over 120 yards receiving already. This was just, to me, a tough one here for the Cowboys, a bad one. I think that their playoff chances are over. I thought they got outcoached in this game. I thought that the Lions, who are not a healthy football team either by any stretch, came out with a lot more urgency, where the Cowboys should have met them right there with that want to, because the Cowboys saw their playoff odds tumble because of that loss.
I'll never see it coming.
I don't know. Did they get outcoached, or did they lose to a better team on the road?
Did you think that the Lions were really that much better? You had Amon-Ra St. Brown on a bad ankle.
He was pretty effective.
And he was good last night. I mean, Jared Goff is able to be rattled. Just ask the Packers from last week, who were able to get him off his mark. I mean, the Lions were able to do what they wanted to on offense. Clearly, the Cowboys defense has a lot of room to grow. We thought they, had figured a lot of things out over the last 2 wins, but clearly, again, they have a lot more they've got to do, because there's been guys in the secondary in and out of the lineup all year for the Cowboys. They shored up the run defense, but they were getting picked apart last night in the back end.
Yeah, let me ask you another question, too. If they could have covered kickoffs better, do you think it would have been a different story? I mean, in all seriousness, the Lions were, first of all, the Lions in the first half, were not moving the ball quite as easily as you would have thought. I thought the Dallas defense stood in some tough positions early on in the game, was slowing them down enough where they could have kept Dallas in the game. Then Dallas was getting field goals when they needed touchdowns, and the Lions were getting touchdowns in the red zone. But then it did crumble. You could see the Cowboys defense was exhausted by the end of the game. And the Cowboys offense was, all the Cowboys were exhausted. I think they came into a desperate situation, and I think we underrate the Lions a little bit. I think everyone thinks, they haven't figured out this play calling without Ben Johnson. Dan Campbell takes over, but he's not really that good. When the Lions are going to really, really use Jahmyr Gibbs, it puts a lot of stress on any defense. I'm not sure there are a lot of teams that would have beaten the Lions in Detroit last night.
We're going to buy the kneecap off.
I don't know. I don't think this Lions home field advantage. Again, the Packers just came in and beat them, so it's not like they're this. It's this unstoppable, place to play.
But I think, by the way, as you said earlier in the week, the Lions had a chance in that game. I think the Lions were utterly desperate last night. I think in a normal situation, Amon-Ra St. Brown wouldn't play. I think they knew their season was on the line, and they really showed up. Goff, God bless him, that guy hung in there play after play after play and got hit and hit and hit. So I'm not sure. I kind of want to credit the Lions a little more than blame the Cowboys for that loss. That's the way I would sort of put the balance of who gets the blame and who gets the credit.
Well, I mean, I guess you always want to give to the victor goes the spoils, I guess. But I don't know. I'm not sure I saw it that way, because I think this is where you and I disagree.
Yeah.
You're talking about how the Lions had all this desperation and they're staring down their season. So are the Cowboys, in my opinion. If you want to squint and say, all right, if the Cowboys win out and this happens to the Bears and this happens to the Eagles and this and this and this, I just think you're asking for too many variables there. The Cowboys should have been treating this like the Lions did.
Right.
And I don't know if they did, because I'm watching back some of these Dak Prescott interceptions. We just played you the last one there, where the ball got taken away from Flournoy. And on the earlier interception, where I was actually kind of crushing Dak Prescott for it, the first one out of half, to be honest, going back and looking at it, George Pickens needs to just grab that ball.
Yeah,
it got taken out of his hands too. Guys were not playing with the hair on fire, except for CeeDee Lamb, and he got hurt.
Well, 90% of Dak Prescott's career interceptions hit Cowboys receivers in the hands. That's a known fact.
Or sometimes they hit the defense in the hands.
Not
and Dak
really.
Prescott gets very lucky that guys drop interceptions too.
I don't know. I feel like Dak is no quarterback in the history of the game has had more deflections off his receiver. Think of that Niners playoff loss where I can't remember, they had that guy. They had a journeyman wide receiver, key play, hits him right in the hands, bounces up. Niners get the interception. That's a story as old as time. Because Dak, Dak is incredibly accurate. I think it's funny. He's getting a lot of love this year, even though you're right. They probably won't make the playoffs. But Dak, even last night, I was like, Dak and Goff are playing quarterback at a very high level. They're very accurate. Some of the throws they make, we just take for granted. And Goff, too. Really great game. But I think, I've been talking about Jahmyr Gibbs as an MVP candidate forever. He is just electric. If he's going to put some of those moves on you after he catches the ball, again, I put more credit on the Lions and blame on the Cowboys.
Well, I thought David Montgomery actually ran the ball well, too, last night. But here's the thing about why I'll credit maybe Dan Campbell, and obviously Jahmyr Gibbs is excellent. But we all knew what they needed to do with Gibbs. It was not going to be necessarily running him through the tackles. It was going to be getting him out in space against linebackers, and that's exactly what they did. 120 yards from scrimmage, but he was better receiving than he was rushing.
Yeah, he had safeties and cornerbacks on him, too, and they still couldn't stop him. Because he runs, he's like McCaffrey. He runs some receiver routes.
Yep.
He's really good at that. He's a fantastic player. Also, Jameson Williams is a beast. He's really, really good. It feels like we don't trust him because remember last year he had that killer penalty. He seemed immature last year. Now he seems good. I mean, the Lions, I'm not exactly sure what's missing this year, but normally we look at the Lions as the creme de la creme. Creme de la creme. But the Lions are supposed to be really good. So maybe the Lions go on a run here. If the Lions go, they're 8-5 now. If they just start whooping everybody, then do we look back at this loss and say, okay, I can understand why Dallas lost? Because I do. That's how I see it.
They already lost the season series to the Packers. It has not looked It has not looked the same with
Maybe
Detroit.
The Packers are really, really good.
We'll see this weekend. We'll see. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Then it's the Packers who are going to be hosting the Bears in Lambeau, and that's just one of the crazy games we have in the NFL. We'll get to the college games as well with conference championship games. But, bro, let's pause on the Steelers and the Ravens for a second. And you're welcome to call in on the Dallas Cowboys, 888-710-4ISN. Poll question up, are the Cowboys done? Over 80% of you are saying, no. Well, the question is, will the Cowboys make the playoffs if they win out? 88% of you are saying no. There's just not a lot of belief here for the Cowboys. They dug themselves in a hole early in the season because the defense was literally the bottom of the league in some statistical categories. And now they're trying to furiously make up for it, and it's going to be too little too late.
Definitely. But 10-6-1 would be interesting. I see you said there was a 40% chance 10-6-1. At least they're in the mix. You know what? If I'm a Cowboy fan, at least I want to be alive going into Week 18 at New York Giants. And if they are alive and they play the New York Giants, I'll get a tattoo of them. I'll do some desperate bet because they're definitely winning that game. If they're still in the hunt, there's no way the Giants are going to be playing anybody. They're going to have their third stringers out there. And Dak Prescott's won 14 in a row. To lose that game would be unthinkable. And man, that would be funny.
Okay, wait, so what's the stakes here? You're willing? So
I'll
somehow
shave both eyebrows.
If the Giants somehow pull off an upset victory over the Cowboys,
yes,
you will shave both eyebrows.
Okay, here's the thing.
Here we go.
If we come in the Monday after the Giants knock the Cowboys out of playoffs, if we come in here and you can look me in the eye and force me to shave both eyebrows. And you can, audience, you can hold me to it.
What if I show up at your house, knock on your door with a razor, just like I'm here? That'd be creepy, by the way. That was a really bad image.
New phone
sounds like a horror movie.
Yeah, sorry.
No. But in reality, though, if it does come down to that, you got to think the Giants won't be playing anybody. The Cowboys have a great chance. We'll see. I think they run I do think they run the table. I would do a show bet, maybe like something light, like lunch, barbecue, since it's Dallas. I'll buy you barbecue. There's a really good spot near my house.
No, I like this eyebrow thing. I want to go bigger.
So will you shave an eyebrow if the Giants lose?
No, they're going to be 14.5-point underdogs in that game.
I'm just still thinking about this image of Maggie at Perloff
showing up with a razor,
with a razor, being like,
Bic.
"Here's Maggie."
Everyone has a price. Oh.
Come over here, Perloff.
I'll bet you something about the Cowboys running the table the rest of the way.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't know about an eyebrow. I want the upset, though. If the Giants do upset the Cowboys, that you would somehow shave both eyebrows. Just that's nuts.
It's called hyperbole.
Yeah.
But no, that'd be a really unlikely win. They've had 14 in a row. They almost beat them earlier.
They're due.
They're due, yeah. Just like the Washington Generals were due against the Harlem Globetrotters.
Okay, let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers for a second. Big game in Baltimore. From what I can see, most of the experts, like nobody is giving the Pittsburgh Steelers a chance in you-know-where. Vibes couldn't be worse for Pittsburgh. I think this is as bad as I've ever seen it, at least that I remember, when the home fans are booing Renegade. Never seen that before. At least I don't recall, Pearl. Rodgers is hurt. They just gave up more rushing yards in their home stadium than they have in 50 years or more, and they've lost 5 of 7. But
we do not care.
I don't know. There's something about, like, you're talking about Detroit came in desperate last night. Could you not expect the same thing from the Pittsburgh Steelers? I know they're going to be on the road, so it's a little different. But would you not expect that same effort in Pittsburgh this weekend?
I don't even think it's desperate. I think it's unpredictable Mike Tomlin. Last year, Baltimore played Pittsburgh in week, I think it was 11 here, and they beat the Ravens 18-16. Somehow, if Mike Tomlin can keep this game in the teens, which means he contains Lamar Jackson, then yes, absolutely the Steelers have a chance to win this game because it's a divisional game and those opponents know each other so well that I think the way that both teams are playing is somewhat irrelevant, in the sense that a divisional game can be. Tomlin always wins weird games like this. He always somehow gets the pace to go slow, makes the other team uncomfortable, gives the Steelers fans hope, and then loses a game that he should win.
Yeah.
That's the Steelers' MO in the last few years.
I know, and I want to actually bet the Steelers here because of all of that, but I just can't because of one stat. The Steelers' defense giving up 365 yards a game. I mean, they are bad. They are bad. And Lamar Jackson hasn't played particularly well because he's been so injured this year, but I just find it hard to believe that they're not going to be able to move the ball. And, if you get even a vintage half of football from Derrick Henry, I don't even know if you need the full game, but if you get a half, then I think it's going to be really, really hard for the Steelers to go into Baltimore and win. And I think this Steelers season, I know it's weird to count out Mike Tomlin, but I just feel like it's careening towards the end. And you know what? The more people talk about, could Mike Tomlin have an Andy Reid resurgence in his next stop? I think he can. I don't think there's shame here in the Pittsburgh Steelers saying, all right, we're going to part ways after 19 years. Most teams get what? What's the average coaching life in the NFL? 3 years, 4 years?
Most, yeah.
I mean, this is the thing about the Steelers, though. They've had 3 coaches in their entire history. We all know that. But that can't be your whole personality. You know what I mean? I know it's a lot to live up to, but at some point, you also have to look at what's going on with your team. And I do think that a new voice, change of scenery would be great. And I think Mike Tomlin would be excellent somewhere else if he has a quarterback.
Mike T is the man.
Really? I don't know, because you think about retreads who've gotten hired. Usually they're offensive guys, right? Like Andy Reid and Mike McCarthy. I just think in today's NFL, I think other teams are going to be nervous about the way the Steelers' offense has looked over the last 8 years.
Yeah, well, you cannot bring, Arthur Smith with you.
But he would want to do that. Or Matt Canada.
But you know what's so funny? There was a time in this world where Bruce Arians was the offensive coordinator for the Steelers. I don't think that Mike Tomlin there used to be a time when it felt like they were an explosive offense.
With Big Ben, for sure. And then Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, they were awesome.
Exactly.
But then Tomlin seemed to get more control of the team and made it more defensive oriented.
Or maybe he needs to, I'll agree with you. I'm not going to disagree, but also maybe there needs to be a different general manager. Maybe it needs to be a different kind of hey, this is what we want. Can you help us with this, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, for most of the time until I think 2 or 3 years ago, or maybe around the pandemic, it was Kevin Colbert, who's kind of like a Hall of Fame level general manager. Then Omar Khan comes in, and I kind of worry. He's made some really good draft picks and some really bad ones. Does he lose too much power to Mike Tomlin in the building? And then Tomlin's like, this is how we're going to build the team, and this is how we're going to run it. It's going to be conservative. I mean, listen, did the Roonies have to come in and tell him to fire Matt Canada?
Yep.
So what does that tell you? And then he hires Arthur Smith, who is a very conservative offensive coordinator too. Arthur Smith, a guy who had Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and Bijan Robinson in Atlanta. I think he had Robinson.
Yep.
And decided to throw the ball to 3 other players on almost every down. So it's just, he's made some really mystifying offensive decisions. So if I'm an owner, I'm really nervous about that. Yes, he definitely brings like a level of professionalism, and he finds a way to win a ton of games. There's no doubt you'll win some games, but in today's NFL, don't you need the offensive guy? I feel like we argue about this sometime. I'm like, hire the 35-year-old offensive coordinator and don't even think about it. Just hope you catch lightning in a bottle with your quarterback.
Yeah, the Steelers won't do that though, right? I mean, the Steelers.
Well, I mean, say Tomlin left, maybe they'll try something different.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Question about the Ravens and the Steelers with basically the division coming down to these two games. Unless you think that the Bengals have an outside shot here.
Oh, definitely.
I've seen a lot of that.
I mean, they're 2 games back, right? That's not that much. By the way, a couple years ago, the Ravens were red hot. They were unstoppable. Pittsburgh beat them 17-10 twice in the season. Out of nowhere and I was saying one of the games, the entire game they were chanting Fire Canada about Maggie because Pittsburgh couldn't score on anybody. And somehow they beat Baltimore because this is a rivalry.
Yeah.
This is like an old school, let's hit each other, we hate you rivalry. So I think that all bets are off, and I think logic will not apply. I'm taking the Ravens too, like all the ESPN experts. But Maggie, would you be shocked if the Steelers did something weird and won the game?
I mean, shocked. I don't know.
It sounds like you would probably be surprised.
Yeah, but to be honest, like I'm not that inspired by the Ravens this year.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I don't know if this has the juice, but here's what we're asking today. Who would it be more embarrassing for to miss the playoffs? The Steelers or the Ravens? Steelers at one point were 4-1. They've lost 5 of 7. It's been tough. And the Ravens, meanwhile, obviously, like, I mean, anytime Ravens, you have Lamar Jackson, you feel like you have a chance, even if he's not 100%.
Yeah, I mean, the Ravens came in one of the favorites to win the Super Bowl. Like, Steelers were long odds to make the playoffs. I think that's got to be the Ravens. But But can you blame health? I mean, the Ravens still, by the way, should be a contender because the AFC, if the Chiefs aren't there, then the Ravens are back in it. The Steelers, I think, have always been, let's hope everything goes well and we go 10-7. I've never viewed them as a contender.
But to me, if you told me you were going to miss Lamar Jackson for more than a month in the season and the Ravens were going to start 1-5, I would expect them to miss the playoffs. If you told me the Steelers were going to start 4-1 and they were going to have a massive lead in the division, I would have totally thought the Steelers, right, well, at least they're going to probably make the playoffs. Maybe one of these teams make a comeback, but it's likely. I think the fact that the way the season is gone, this would be embarrassing for the Steelers, especially if they miss out on that 9-win threshold that Mike Tomlin gets to where he doesn't have a losing season, which is definitely on the table.
But they were 8-2 last year, and they lost their last 5 games.
And that was embarrassing. Like, we've been clowning Russell Wilson since still. Like, I think that if the Steelers find a way to screw this thing up, considering how much this thing seems salted away, I do think it would be embarrassing.
Really? I never view the Steelers. I don't view the Steelers that way at all. You thought it was salted away? I felt like it was like a repeat of last year where they beat some bad teams early and some good teams.
Bengals
and then
and Ravens look dead. I mean, but they didn't have their quarterbacks.
Yeah, and then Huntley played the game of his life. I don't know. I still think the Ravens have that aura about them where we still view them as contenders, even though what you say is true. I know, and Lamar can't run. Derrick Henry's lost a step. I understand the logistics of this, but it's still hard to not look at them as the Ravens, as the contender Ravens.
You know, I'm gonna say something that I'm not like wishing for it. I'm just observing it. Is the season just too long? Like, I love football, so I don't want to take games away. But it just feels like you're right. You start 1-5, you're not out of it. You start 4-1, it means absolutely nothing. In some ways, I guess it's a good thing.
Yeah,
but it also just shows that the season is just so insanely long. Like, I don't know. I don't think I needed the 17th game, to be honest with you. I'm okay with it. I don't want more preseason.
I hated the 17th game.
But the 17th game, like, I don't think anyone was really asking for it except for the league to make more money.
I think actually I would even go the opposite direction. I would add a play-in tournament like the NBA. Add 1 or 2 more playoff teams.
Just like an in-season tournament?
I'm being dead serious. Like, with the 17th game, I think they will consider expanding the playoffs because there's going to be, if you're 10-6-1 and can't make the playoffs, that doesn't make any sense. You can be,
But that's not new. We've had 10-win teams miss the playoffs for years.
Well, that's 10.5 wins because of a tie. That's a lot. I think that in the NBA, you could be like 30-55, whatever, 30-52 and be the 10 seed.
Yeah, but people don't like that, I don't think.
I think there will be an argument. There'll be a look at, hey, should we add a playoff team or two? Because there's going to be really good teams that do not make the playoffs. The Chiefs aren't going to make the playoffs. And they're a really good team.
I know, but so the sport should bend over backwards to make sure that the Chiefs can get in? I don't know. If you
and the Cowboys.
Be a top 7, you just have to be top half of your conference.
Yes, they should.
Yeah. I mean, the Chiefs are... I don't know if they are a really good team. They're 500. They have been a good team. They're a great organization. They're not having a good year though.
I don't know. I feel if they got in the playoffs, they would be super dangerous because even none of their losses are super embarrassing. And then in the AFC, right now, the 8th seed in both divisions are the Houston Texans, really good team, and the 8th seed in the NFC is the Detroit Lions, who are a good team. So I think they're going to look at expansion.
But I think you run into the problem the NBA has, which is like the regular season becomes watered down. Like, why was last night's game so great? It was because this felt like a playoff game. The crowd was awesome. It was two teams battling for what they knew was going to be a do-or-die situation. If you add more teams and add more playoff games, you lose that.
I just warn you, playoffs always expand. They always expand.
It's going to happen with college. 888-710-4ISN. We think 888-710-4476. Meanwhile, we will talk about the college football playoff. You got some conference championship games this weekend. All eyes are going to be on the Big 12. BYU, Texas Tech. So many teams' fates could lie in the hands of the results of that game. Also, the SEC championship game, Alabama and Georgia. We got a thought on that as well. It's the Maggie and Perloff Show.
Well, Daly rode in at sunrise with a story to unload. Said his nephew's team got humbled, 50 points out on the road. 33-83, that scoreboard told no lies. Even Maggie shook her head, Perloff stared at the sky. So raise your cup to Daly, the toughest fan we know. Through blowouts and bad box scores, he still comes to the show. We sing goodbye to infinity, it fell without a sound. And Bilotti and Manny never showed, their boots still off the ground. Yeah, the West is wide and weary, but the legends still remain on Maggie and Perloff's YouTube range. Infinity once was shining, but it faded in the dust, like an worn out transmitter that just ran out of trust. They said Bilotti's on his way, but that tale's been told before. Man, he's clocking in when missing, like a ghost behind the door. So raise your cup to Daly, the toughest fan we know. Through blowouts and bad box scores, he still comes to the show. We sing goodbye to infinity, it fell without a sound. And Bilotti and Manny never showed, their boots still off the ground. Yeah, the West is wide and weary, but the legends still remain on Maggie and Perloff's YouTube range. Out on the courts at sunrise, two challengers took their stand. Pierre and old man Rube were ready, racket trembling in their hands. But Daly served the thunder, sent them running for the gate. 2 straight sets of country justice, destiny sealed by fate. But Daly keeps on posting with a grin and a little pain, like a cowboy riding fences in a never-ending rain. 'Cause whether teams get stomped out or stations fade away, he's still right there at 6 o'clock to start another day. So raise your cup to Daly, the toughest fan we know. Through blowouts and bad box scores, he still comes to the show. He beat Pierre and Rube at tennis, left them crying on the clay, while infinity drifted into dust and blood it stayed away. Yeah, the West is wide and weary, but the legends still remain on Maggie and Perloff's YouTube range. So when the scoreboard looks ugly and the world feels strange,
All right, Maggie. Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. The Cowboys obviously are awesome when CeeDee Lamb is out on the field and George Pickens. Unfortunately, CeeDee Lamb had a pretty nasty concussion last night. We'll see. I read that he's had multiple ones. I did not know that he had a concussion history, so this is a very serious issue because whether you're talking about this year or next year, the Cowboys are elite when they have those 2 receivers. That's the best receiving core in the NFL. That's better than Chase and Higgins. I will put that out there because I think Pickens right now, coming into this game before last night, was the best receiver in the NFL. It's him or JSN. Second in yards, his PFF grade is the highest. He's been unbelievable. But last night, once Lamb went out, I did feel like Detroit kind of blanketed him. They knew that it was coming, and it got really frustrating.
I think not only did Detroit do a great job frustrating him, I think the refs got in his head. Now, this was a really poorly officiated game. I hate.
Oh my God!
I'm going to be honest. I know complaining about calls. I don't know if there's ever been a game where this version of Hockey is on the game when I'm not like, oh God, it's terrible. First of all, it's a flag on every single play, and he to me is bad. And Pearl, you always talk about how the rules analyst is always afraid to disagree. Not last night, because the rules analyst last night was like, I don't know what he's seeing on that Jake Ferguson offensive pass interference.
Yeah.
I thought the rules analyst, I forgot his name now.
Terry McCauley,
excuse me. I thought he was going to jump out of our TV screen and end up on the field. Yeah,
he said it was. Everyone thought that was defensive pass interference. That call was insane.
It was a big call.
I gotta tell you though,
big moment in the game.
I'm not sure I saw the safety the way my internet feed did. There was a safety.
Yep.
It looked like a safety.
Dak Prescott.
And they replayed and they said that he was at. I'm like, he was clearly at about the half-yard line when he was first touched. But Terry McCauley's like, no, he was touched in the end zone. I'm like, really? I feel like he's very clearly outside of the end zone when for all that matters is when is he touched?
Yes.
So I thought it was pretty obvious that his forward progress was out of the end zone. But Terry McCauley's like, nope. And then, of
they
course,
showed
they
a different
rule.
angle. And
no, he saw every angle. He saw the angle, and McCauley was insistent. I'm like, what are you looking at? I didn't quite understand that.
Anyway, anytime I just have to go back and check about this. I meant to do it this morning. I ran out of time. Does that Hockey, the son, has he ever done playoff games? Because there's no chance that he could be on a playoff game, right?
He's like the top crew.
Oh, no.
John Hockley? Yeah, he's way up there. He gets a lot of games.
Done playoff games.
Has he?
Definitely.
Oh, my God.
He's a hack.
I mean,
he's not actually. He's not even known as one of the bad ones, is he?
To me, he is. I think it's all. I don't generally accuse referees of doing this. To me, when he's out there, it feels like he wants it to be the Hockey show, and I actually feel like I'm playing into it now by giving him airtime.
Are you kidding me? Of
Yes.
course, it's the Hockey show. He's the one. It's the one family that everyone knows. They're the pro wrestling champions and NFL officials.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, the gun show is on, Maggie.
It just makes me
buy
sick
some
to my
tickets.
stomach. I'm not a fan of how they officiated the game last night.
It was terrible.
The offensive pass interference on Ferguson was ridiculous.
Facts.
I mean, I thought both of them were bad. I didn't like the pick play one either.
Oh, right. That was terrible.
Yeah.
Also.
The one on Pickens.
Yeah, on Pickens. Yeah.
Come on.
The guys,
4 guys threw a flag. That was so
sorry.
obvious. Like Pickens threw his arms up. Like, no, I didn't mean to just pick this guy. That you got to call that one. I thought.
I think pick play typically is like a weak call. Like, the guy's running his route. I don't know. I don't like it. I hate those calls. Find a way to guard that.
They were both at key moments of the game too, especially the Ferguson one where they were basically in the red zone. They were in the red zone and it backed them up. They ended up kicking a field goal, I believe, on that drive, if I'm remembering correct. Anyway, George Pickens has become a hot topic.
Yeah.
Richard Sherman pulling no punches last night about Pickens' effort. Here is the Amazon analyst.
George Pickens throughout the game, especially late in the game, just looked uninterested in playing football. And that's what you can't have. If you're going to be a superstar, if you want to be the best receiver in the National Football League, you can never be disengaged. It doesn't matter if the game's going your way or not going your way. You can't just disappear in these games or else you're not going to have impact.
Okay, more from Richard Sherman, the former All-Pro corner, talking about this should be a warning sign for Dallas when it comes to Pickens.
Just right here, cruising routes. You're the guy. CeeDee Lamb is not in this game. He's out, and you get intercepted on your slant routes, and you can't be the guy and half-ass it. I'm sorry, that's just, you can't, it's unacceptable. And if you're the Dallas Cowboys and you're looking at him and you're looking to pay him big-time receiver money, $40 million, you got to look at this tape and say, hey, is this a guy we can trust paying $40 million to show up regardless of circumstance? I don't know.
Bro, do you think that's fair criticism from Sherman?
No. Of course not. It's Richard Sherman criticizing wide receiver. I don't even need to hear what he's talking about. That guy hates wide receivers and Russell Wilson more than anybody's ever hated.
He does hate Wilson.
Don't forget Skip Bayless.
Yeah. Wilson,
No,
he's got history with, obviously.
But by the way, Rich Sherman is an awesome broadcaster. I do enjoy listening to him. But no, Pickens has been awesome. I got to tell you, yes, I agree. He clearly out of his game last night. He was so frustrated.
Biggest game of the year. CeeDee Lamb goes out.
But do you want to cover that guy one-on-one? He is.
Last night I wouldn't have minded it, I guess.
Did you see him one-on-one? I did not.
No, they didn't.
I saw Ryan Flournoy running wide open because half the defense was shifted over to George Pickens. That's the problem. Now we've created this two-headed monster. When you take one part out of it, then they can bracket Pickens. So that's hard to do for any receiver, unless you're Calvin Johnson.
The one thing, though, is even if you're being bracketed, you're being double-teamed, whatever, you still need the max effort. Right. And that's what Richard Sherman is saying. You're lackadaisical. You're not giving max effort.
Yeah.
There's never an excuse for that.
That's not my fault.
If I'm the Cowboys, I'd pay Pickens.
It's not good team building, though. That's the thing. The defense is what needs the attention here.
Yeah.
And just look at the Bengals. You pay 2 receivers and you leave your defense and you're not a playoff team, let alone a Super Bowl contender.
When you're general manager, of which I am.
Let's get to Andrew Bogish, who's got the latest headlines.
Counterpoint. He's still awesome, by the way.
Sure.
George Pickens is great.
I think they'll franchise tag him, and he'll be pissed about it, but he'll play.
I don't know. I think he's earned a lot of money this season. Like a lot of money.
But do you trust him with that money?
Yeah, see, I want to see it again. You got a guy in a contract
year. Do we
year.
really know George Pickens that well? I don't. I mean, yeah, do we trust him with that money? I don't know how he spends his money. I know he's a hothead.
Not even about how he spends it. Just like, do you trust that he will do the right things and still be a productive, combative player when you actually pay him, when he's not looking to get paid?
Or will he be like Terrell Owens and just be a headache?
Or Antonio Brown. Like that's the big thing. Like Ryan Clark tells a story that when Antonio Brown was trying to get paid and he saw bad things about Antonio Brown behind the scenes, he went to Mike Tomlin and said, "If I was you, I would not pay that guy."
Man, that's a real LeBron James like seeing into the future.
I know. I can't tell if it's true or not, but that's what Ryan Clark said. He told Mike Tomlin, and they paid him, and then Antonio Brown went Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
Well, Antonio Brown, I mean, listen, the long history there. He came into Pickens too, but Antonio Brown went in the 5th round. Did he look like a 5th round talent to anybody?
Absolutely not.
No, there were major accusations against him in college.
Anyway. In which college? Like he was all over the place. Yeah.
He ended, but yeah.
Yeah. Anywho, let's get to Andrew Bogish. You're welcome to weigh in on the Cowboys. 888-710-4ISN. Do you agree with Richard Sherman that after watching George Pickens last night, is there a real question about whether or not to pay that guy? What's up, folks?
Guys, it wasn't just us that thought Amon-Ra St. Brown was a long shot to play last night. Many of us were wrong. 6 catches, 92 yards a week after spraining his ankle.
No matter what our record was, whether we were undefeated right now or didn't have a win, I was going to do everything to be out there. just to be out there for my guys. My job is to go out there and make plays and be on that field.
His team is now 8-5 after outscoring the Cowboys 44-30 on Thursday Night Football. The victory does not get the Lions back in a playoff spot yet, but ups their chances of making it all together. Running back Jahmyr Gibbs caught 7 passes, 77 yards, and scored 3 times running. And the Lion D sacked Dak Prescott 5 times, had 2 picks, recovered a fumble. That's how Dallas's 3-game win streak ends. Head coach Brian Schottenheimer.
We knew tonight that it was going to come down to a couple things. We knew we had to take care of the football and take it away. We didn't do a very good job with that. And then we knew we had to win the trenches, and we didn't really do that.
Maggie, I don't know which playoff chance indicator is your favorite. But
I've got a multitude.
Yeah, but the Athletics math machine says the Cowboys, if they win out, would still only have a 40% chance of getting to the postseason.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. And first of all, they've got to win out, and the defense looks a little leaky now against maybe the Vikings or whatever, Chargers. I don't know, but they're still going to be in dogfights, I think, in these games outside of Minnesota, probably.
Well, yeah, Minnesota is at Max Prosper. I know McCarthy might be practicing, but
he's out of concussion protocols. He should play this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, they should be favored. I mean, listen, Minnesota could be a weird team. That Chargers game is the big test. If they go to 8-6-1, I feel like momentum will build and they'll find a way to win that Washington-New York game. But again, 40%, that might not be enough. I will acknowledge that.
You got 25% at best at beating me.
I'm actually shocked that it's 40%. How do you go from 9% to 40%?
You got to win all your games.
But that's not that hard. They're not playing anybody.
It is, though. I think that's why. Because without winning, it's right now like at single percentage points to get in. So winning 4 in a row is so hard that it takes it from like 8% to 40%.
Yeah, but winning 4 in a row, you have to look at the schedule, though. They're playing teams. Washington is 3-9, New York's 2-11, and Minnesota is 4-8.
No, I get it.
Pesky Chargers. Yeah.
Yeah, but the Commanders game is going to be a Christmas game.
Yep.
It's a short week. I don't trust these
Maybe
guys.
Jaden Daniels back. Commanders.
He's playing on Christmas.
Yeah.
Like, definitely.
The Commanders' defense has been a massive disappointment.
But they've been better since Dan Quinn started calling plays.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, maybe it comes out of that, but they are 3-9. Like, listen, you think there's no excuse last night against the Lions? There's really no excuse with the playoffs on the line to get to 40. But 40% is not exactly ideal either.
No, it's not what you want. Meanwhile, they gave Denver all they could handle, though. They definitely haven't quit.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Denver could honestly play a high school team and beat them with 2 minutes left in the game. That is Denver's MO. Denver doesn't want it. That was relatively, to go down to the last play of overtime, that was a rather comfortable win for Denver. I mean, that's how they do it, right?
So you got Don Bosco Prep and the Broncos tied at 20 late fourth quarter.
Bo Nix with 130 yards in the last 5 minutes of the game. That's how Denver wins games.
Wait, where did Caleb Williams go to school in D.C.? They could have just, Georgetown Prep or whatever, they could have just went down the road and taken on them after they beat the Commanders.
Denver underachieved for 3.5 quarters. We got them right where we want.
Yeah, I mean, they're amazing, by the way. Look at have you seen their last 5-minute stats? They're the most unbelievable. Talk about a team.
Second only to the Bears.
No, I think the Broncos are the last-minute team. But anyway, go ahead, Books.
This was a significant assist for many reasons from LeBron.
LeBron to Rui for the win. Good! Rui Hachimura hits a jumper at the buzzer, and the Lakers have won the game.
John Ireland on Lakers radio. They win in Toronto, 123-120. So LeBron gets the game-winning assist, but passing up the winning shot left him on 8 points, ending his stretch of regular season games in double figures at 1,297.
Just playing the game the right way. You always make the right play. That's just been my MO. That's how I was taught the game. I've done that my whole career.
The Lakers winning this one without Luka, who is back in Slovenia for the birth of their second child.
Wait, what?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
His wife doesn't live in L.A.?
I guess not.
Is it a wife? Is he married?
Oh, God, I don't know.
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if he's I don't think he's
thought
married.
I saw a wife in the post yesterday about this, but I could be wrong.
Why does he get to go when Draymond can't go? Draymond was making a huge deal about not seeing the birth of his kid.
I don't know. This did not hit my timeline.
Fiance, by the way. For Luka.
Okay.
This did not hit my timeline. I don't know how I missed it because I've been looking at the game because I faded LeBron last night and won my bet.
Why'd you fade LeBron against the Raptors?
LeBron James.
It worked. But
I was right.
I'm actually shocked he played. Where was this game?
Toronto.
Yeah.
What the heck's he shooting up for Toronto?
Well, I'll leave that alone.
Yeah, I was thinking exactly what you were thinking.
Well, I mean, he's got friends in Toronto. He's always had friends in Toronto. I think he likes that city.
And I want my damn respect.
Like he wanted to go see them? What do you mean?
Well, he could travel with the team, but why does he actually have to
He
play?
used to be very good friends with Drake, and doesn't seem like
I don't think
they
they're
are
friends
anymore.
anymore.
Yeah, but Toronto, he plays there a lot, actually. It's a good city. A lot of NBA players like playing there.
Well, I'm just
I think
saying
a
it's
lot of
a
NBA
road
players-
game.
Yeah, sorry.
A road out of conference game that's probably not impactful in the standings. That'd be a good opportunity. Yeah, go there, but why do you have to suit up for that one?
Well, he did just sit a game
Yeah,
out.
what did he sit out?
He put the front end of a back to back.
Yeah.
He didn't play Sunday maybe, and then they played Monday, and then last night again.
But if I was buying tickets to any of those West Coast stars, I'd be nervous because of load management. And obviously, LeBron played, but kind of load managed.
Played 36 minutes though.
Did he really? And scored only 9 points?
He put up shots. He didn't play well.
4 of 17.
Yeah, it wasn't like he was half-assing it.
It's just so
wasn't
funny.
good.
Pearl's like shocked that he would play this game. I don't know.
The Celtics put a 146-101 hurting on the Wizards without a sick Jaylen Brown last night, and the Nets smartly did not win a third game in a row. Outscored 42-20 in the fourth to lose at home to the Jazz, 123-110. And from women's college hoops, number 5 LSU, a 93-77 win at Duke. First time this season the Tigers don't score 100. They had hit the century mark in a record 8 straight to open their season. Guys, back to you.
Folks, thanks. Coming up, we have a big question about the SEC championship game. We will get to that next. It's the Maggie and Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. Well, Daly rode in at sunrise with a story to unload. Said his nephew's team got humbled, 50 points out on the road. 33-83, that scoreboard. Sun's rising up on the Maggie and Perloff show. And drunk old Sam's typing fast with that country glow. He says Bill Oddie never shows, wonders how that thumb feels. Points at Gallus man bun, asking if it's part of the deals. He spots a toilet paper roll sitting proud in the booth. Says only in this place will that actually be proof that chaos is normal and everyone's fine. Then he laughs in the chat at his own punchline. Good morning, good friends, Drunkel Sam's in the thread. From FCC letters to Subaru flies ahead. He drops Lions predictions like a psychic on wheels. Magic Drake ball spinning with big country feels. Good morning, good friends. Let the whole chat sing along. 'Cause Drunkle Sam turned the comments into one wild country song. Cap left a sticker on the TriCaster board. For service call Chef like a tech support lord. Drake Toll's playing Ouija football late in the night. And Sam swears he saw him fixing books by flashlight.
He asked where Sully went, 'cause the man wants his put. And maybe DCT calls in if we got that luck. He says poopy like a cowboy who's seen some things. Then he proudly declares he never lied once, just cheats and sings. Good morning, good friends. Uncle Sam's in the thread. From FC Sailors to Subaru fires ahead. He drops lines, predictions like a psychic on wheels. Magic Drake ball spinning with big country feels. Good morning, good friends. Let the whole chat sing along. 'Cause Drunkle Sam turned the comments into one wild country song. He did a deep dive on Drake Toll's whole life. Even found a dude named Horton C. Dill and caused him strife. He waits for Spencer's updates like it's breaking news. Then hits the chat again with his patented views. Smokey the Bear warned him, keep your Subaru safe. Sam saluted right back with a grin on his face. Said he might call in next week and bless the whole land with his federal chat commission cowboy brain. Good morning, good friends. Drunkle Sam rides again. From the scrolls of the chat to the heart of the den. He keeps jokes rolling in like a wild country stream, and now he's the hero of this anthem of dreams. Good morning, good friends. Let that country spirit roll. Here's the Drunkle Sam, the legend of the scroll.
We are nobody, man. We write our own story. We've said it all along. That's the way to show up, man. Way to show up. We do what we want to do and how we're going to do it. You guys showed up. Was it perfect? No. Do we have a lot to clean up? Yeah, that's a good win, man. That was a hot team. All right, and that's one down. We got another one to go after this.
Tough morning? We got you. It's Maggie and Perloff.
If only Dan Campbell could give us all pep talks every single morning. Welcome to the show. Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Lions win last night, 44-30, put a stop to Dallas's hot 3-game winning streak, Pearl, and probably put the nail in the coffin of the Dallas Cowboys' playoff hopes. As faint as they were, even heading into this game, now it looks even like longer odds. Currently sitting at a 9% chance to make the playoffs, does the Dallas Cowboys. And listen, yeah, they won 3 games. The Raiders beat your Eagles, beat the Chiefs. That was a really good, at least 2 out of 3 of those games were very impressive. But this is what happened with the Cowboys. Their defense to start the season was so awful that they put themselves behind the 8 ball. They put themselves in a hole. And now they've gotten a little bit better. Last night they got gashed, obviously. But they've gotten a little bit better, but not nearly enough with enough time left, in my opinion, to save this season from a playoff perspective.
Absolutely. And, there are reasons. Some guys were hurt. Obviously, DeMarvin and Overshawn didn't arrive. Lamb was hurt early. There all sorts of things happen early in the season. I definitely give them some credit for turning around the season, and I think they definitely found something with this Pickens-Lamb combination. Then you pull Pickens out of that, and you could put all the attention in. You pulled Lamb out of it last night with the concussion.
He got hurt.
Then all the attention goes on Pickens, and that's a problem. But obviously, the problem last night was not their offense. The problem was defense and special teams. I mean, it was crazy. I was like, I didn't want him to go on 4th down because I did not want to see them kick off to Detroit, because it felt like Dallas wouldn't make contact with the Lions receiver, kick returner, until he got to the 40-yard line. What was happening? What happened to Dallas's special teams?
Well, they have maybe the best kicker in the league, maybe, and they have a great punter too, but they have terrible coverage units, obviously. And so the Lions were able to put themselves in some really good field position. Dallas was relying on field goals. They get down to the red zone and things were happening, self-inflicted wounds, settling for field goals. Should have went for it on a 4th and 3. I thought late in the game when you're down 10. But you know what? all of it adds up to this is a Cowboy team that's just not ready. And the offense can look really good, Pearl, and there can be parts of the Cowboys team that look good. But overall, it felt like there was a little, I don't want to say deer in headlights because they didn't get blown out. But it felt like the Lions didn't just have the home field advantage. The Lions had the experience of being in a big game, and it felt to me like Dan Campbell really outcoached Brian Schottenheimer last night.
I felt like the Lions jumped out to that 27-9 lead, and the Cowboys felt like the Cowboys said, okay, we're the better team here. We should take it to them. And the Cowboys came back and made it 30-27.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know I feel like the Cowboys kind of acted like the big boys for most of the game, and then the Lions were able to put the closing touches on it. But you got to admit, that was a pretty amazing comeback.
Yeah, but see, that's why I'm not giving tons and tons of credit to the Lions here. I don't think we were watching the Lions from last year because you're right. EJ said yesterday your prediction for the game was going to be blowout city, but you weren't sure who was going to be on what side of it. There was a moment, halftime, where it looked like the Lions were going to be on a trip to blowout city. And they could not put the Cowboys away despite the fact that they forced 3 turnovers. You know, the Cowboys ran more plays. It didn't make me feel awesome about the Lions either, by the way. I'm not believing that the Cowboys have a shot at all anymore. It's going to hour them right there.
The Lions starting field position, except for the last drive, was the 42-yard line. I mean, that's why I'm going to go full Dan Campbell when I get my next head coaching job. You cannot kick off in today's NFL anymore. You got to go for it on 4th down. The Cowboys had to play keep away last night, especially at the end of the first half. That's the one that absolutely gutted me. It was 4th and 4. The offense started moving, and they decided to kick a field goal because they have this special weapon in Brandon Aubrey. It's not about the points even. It's about the time of possession as well. Then they gave the ball back to the Lions, who immediately got down the field in about 2 seconds. Yep. Then the Dallas defense got tired at the end of the game. I honestly think you have to almost always go for it on 4th down. If you're anywhere near the red zone and it's 4th and less than 5, I think the game has changed so much because of the dynamic kickoff.
You're right. I wonder if they'll look at it, or do you think the league likes this?
Oh, they love it. More offense, the better.
Richie's in Queens. Richie, not a fan of the new kickoff rules that basically set everyone up at the 40?
Yeah, Andrew, I agree with you what you said about it. I couldn't understand how you don't go there.
Yeah.
You said about the points, just run the clock out. You know they're going to get the ball back. Yeah, guys, I'm just fed up with it because, it used to be you kick in the end zone, you get it at the 20. All right, you go now you're to 25. Now it's to 35.
Yep.
Everybody gets the ball at the 40. It just changes the whole dynamics. And a couple of points in the first half, Ferguson with the fumble, obviously really big, and also the hands to the face. They had a first down at the 5-yard line.
Yep.
So, and not going for it on 4th down. So, yeah, you get within 3 and you figure I'm going to hold them down in their territory. No, the guy runs back to the 44-yard line. And in one pass, it's 25 yards. And the kick is I don't know what they're doing with the kicking, Maggie. It's mind-boggling to me how these guys are kicking. Even 3 or 4 years ago, a 60-yarder was unheard of.
Yep.
And now this guy had 3 over 55. So, yeah, and again, they're doing this to protect so-called the players on the kickoff, yet they want to go to 18 games.
Oh,
so
I know.
Explain that
Richie,
correlation.
It's the biggest
Always
hypocrisy ever. Thank you for the phone call. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the games. Biggest hypocrisy ever whenever the league talks about player safety, when they want to go to as many games as humanly possible, to me. But, yes, what you're talking about, the bad Ferguson fumble and then also the face mask. But what, Pearl, you're talking about, end of the first half, 4th and 4 at the Detroit 37, and they decide to kick the field goal with about 50 seconds left to play in the half. But the Lions weren't happy just sitting on the ball. They go right down the field and kick their own field goal.
Well, they only had to go about 15 yards because they started at the 40-something because the Cowboys could not cover kickoffs, which is not good. Yeah, I kind of like this dynamic kickoff rule. More offense, the better. And I don't know why you guys are trying to kill my 18th game. What's wrong? You guys, the worst feeling in the world is that February after the Monday, February after Super Bowl. More football. What's wrong with that?
I just don't think we need it. And the product is, by the end of the season, half the teams are out of it and playing for the draft anyway. Maggie Perloff.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
Well, the whole damn building shook like a bomb went off. Scared the pigeons so bad they flew clean to God. Infinity died with a splatter so hard it left a stain the janitors refused to guard. And Bilotti, that son of a bitch, was gone like a shot. Didn't even grab his coat, didn't think a single thought. They checked his desk, checked the stairs, checked behind the copier like he might be hiding there. But Pete skipped town like the feds were closing in. A master class and kiss my ass, I ain't clocking in. People whispered maybe corporate's cooking up tricks. Hell no, this thing blew up like a firecracker stuffed in a box of dicks. A hellfire splat, one big filthy crash. Infinity hit the pavement like a bag of wet trash.
One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Second down. Goff works out of the gun. There's the snap. Goff back. Goff looking. Goff throwing left side. Up end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Detroit Lions. Isaac Tesla. Goff to the rookie. 12 yards on the connection, and the Lions extend their lead.
Thank you to the Lions Radio Network. Lions win this game 44-30. Put away the Cowboys, Pearl, and maybe put away the Cowboys' playoff chances. As faint as they were coming into this game, they could not afford a loss. Well, they did lose, and now the Lions may be trending up, and Dallas is trending down. Goff was very good in this game, 25 of 34, 309 yards, a touchdown, no picks, only took 1 sack, whereas Dak Prescott had much bigger passing numbers, 376 yards passing, but did have the 2 interceptions and took 5 sacks in this game.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. So the Lions next week go to the Rams, and they are still in a pretty much a must-win situation. I just don't know how good the team is. And actually, I'm not even sure why they're not quite as consistent as last year. Even when they started having injuries all over the place, you could still count on them. I don't know. Something is a little bit missing because I actually felt like Dallas's offense in the second half, once Dak, you could see it, even in the second quarter, Dak started to cook a little bit. I felt like the old Detroit defense was back on the field. Like, they're not dominant. Like, they're not good enough to win a Super Bowl, basically. The offense is. I don't think the defense is.
Yeah. I mean, listen, they could not really step on the throat of Dallas. And even when CeeDee Lamb went out of the game with a concussion in the third quarter, and George Pickens was either double teamed or disinterested in really going max effort. That's not just our opinion. Also, Richard Sherman, who was a broadcaster on the game last night, calling out George Pickens. The defense really couldn't put the clamps down on them. Now, listen, Brian Branch was getting banged up in this game. Stop me if you've heard that before.
They
had some guys in and out of the lineup. Meanwhile, it's a good sign, though, where Dan Campbell, who took over offensive play calling responsibilities again, Pearl, was able to get Jahmyr Gibbs in space. And once that happens, he's off to the races. He scored 3 touchdowns last night. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's playing on a bum ankle, we thought, caught 6 passes on 9 targets for 92 yards.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't really the greatest Gibbs game. He couldn't really do anything. The run game got stuffed. So the Cowboys did do that, except for one play where Montgomery broke out. So the Cowboys at least stopped Gibbs running. The problem is he's like McCaffrey. He's such a good receiver. We'll see. I kind of like Detroit's offense where they are right now. I just worry, how do you let it 417 yards once CeeDee Lamb goes out of the game? It felt like maybe they were giving them up on playing bend don't break, but it did feel like Dallas could have scored a lot of points. They did score 30 points.
Well, there were 2 specific times when they were facing a 4th and 4 at the end of the first half, and then a 4th and 3 at the end, towards the later in the game in the fourth quarter, and they elected to kick field goals on both of those when you're basically in the red zone.
Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't have made it. They still would have needed to get the ball back and stop Detroit, even if they had scored a touchdown.
Which they were not doing, which I think was the reason why you'd say, Shoddy, go for it here, because your defense is not able to put up any resistance. The only time they stopped Detroit in the second and after the second quarter, basically, was a blocked field goal.
Right. There was a key play cough. They finally felt like they got to the Lions, and it was 3rd and 8, I believe, and Goff somehow flinged it up in the air and got a 40-yard gain and a roughing the passer. That was an absolute killer for the Cowboys. They just couldn't stop. And early downs, the Lions were doing really well. That came down to the Cowboys defense. Again, I think you and I disagree. I'm not killing the Cowboys on this one. That was a tough assignment last night.
Yeah, I'm not being as favorable towards the Cowboys on this one. I thought that the Lions came with a lot more juice in this game, and it's must win for both. I don't see this as, this was the Lions back against the wall, but the Cowboys could somehow afford this loss. They can't. Their playoff chances went from a mere 17% down to 9%. This is just not a playoff team.
But they were down 27-9 and came back to make it 30-27. I mean, that is a team that can turn on some juice. And their offense was really, really good in the second half.
If you're going to be showing up to work today or, around the water cooler at the warehouse, wherever, George Pickens is going to be a big topic of conversation. So let's hear, guys, Richard Sherman calling out Pickens for a lack of effort last night.
George Pickens throughout the game, especially late in the game, just looked uninterested in playing football. And that's what you can't have. If you're going to be a superstar, if you want to be the best receiver in the National Football League, you can never be disengaged. It doesn't matter if the game's going your way or not going your way. You can't just disappear in these games or else you're not going to have impact.
Yeah, again, that's Richard Sherman. And, I'll agree with Sherman on this one. First of all, there was like a pass to Pickens, a Dak Prescott pass that basically got taken away from him, and that counts as an interception on Dak. And then the second thing on Pickens, I do think the refs got in his head a little bit. He didn't get some calls early. The refs were calling this game in an odd way, I thought. Kind of screwed both teams, actually.
Pickens was screaming on the sideline, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he got taken out of the game, I think, by the refs, and that's himself. Here's more from Sherman about, is this game kind of a warning sign for the Cowboys if they want to sign Pickens to a long-term deal?
Just right here, cruising routes. You're the guy. CeeDee Lamb is not in this game. He's out, and you get intercepted on your slant routes, and you can't be the guy and half-ass it. I'm sorry, that's just, you can't, it's unacceptable. And if you're the Dallas Cowboys and you're looking at him and you're looking to pay him big-time receiver money, $40 million, you got to look at this tape and say, hey, is this a guy we can trust paying $40 million to show up regardless of circumstance? I don't know.
Yeah, that was Richard Sherman. Pointed criticism there. And he mentioned CeeDee Lamb went out. Lamb got a concussion in the third quarter. I don't know if we mentioned that.
Well, yeah, but obviously there's incredible value to having George Pickens. Why do you think everyone else was wide open last night? Why do you think? How many yards? Dak Prescott had 400 yards.
Yeah, close.
So basically, there's incredible value to having George Pickens. He's absolutely, normally, you cannot cover him one-on-one. So that puts enormous pressure on the defense when you have him and CeeDee Lamb. I would re-sign him. I think what they've been doing together, since they've been together, what's their record when the two are on the field together? They're definitely a playoff team then.
Can I hear it from Brian Schottenheimer, please? He was talking after the game, of course, the Dallas head coach, that the offense had big plays but settled for too many field goals.
Really proud of Flournoy, him stepping up. I thought CD before the injury was outstanding. We knew we'd hit some explosives, and unfortunately we just, we weren't very good in the red zone. Kicked too many field goals, and against a team like this, you can't kick field goals.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious for the offensive play caller. You're like, well, we settled for too many field goals. Like, yeah, well, you could have gone for it on a couple fourth downs there, Coach. Isn't that a funny way to put it, Pearl?
Yeah. Just by the way, they're 5-3-1 when Lamb and Pickens are together. I don't know. I'm not going to. How can you listen to Richard Sherman when he's talking about a wide receiver? That man is in his DNA, hates every offensive player.
I don't know. I think he especially hates his former teammate Russell Wilson, and everyone else gets passed.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think that, spot the lie. Even if you think Sherman is being, is harsh on offensive players, George Pickens did not look like he was giving max effort on some of those plays.
I don't know. I'm not going to kill him on that pick. The pick six. Yeah, it was a tough play. The guy poked his hand in there. It happens. I'm not absolutely.
What
killing.
about the other routes where he appeared to slow down or wasn't, didn't seem like he was
the ball
giving
clearly
full
wasn't
effort?
going to him. He had a safety on him. The reality is, he's human. If he knows that, listen, the other wide receiver's running wide open, I'm not getting the ball here. What do you expect him to do?
Wow, that's really giving him a pass off the hook
on
a must-win game that he can give minus effort. And it's okay because he knows he's double covered.
I'm watching him run that slant, thinking about Michael Irvin running that same slant. I can't imagine a guy in a must-win game. He's letting that corner get his hands in there.
Oh, my God.
I'm serious.
I got to tell you, two people, if you think if Pickens gets loose, you don't think Howie Roseman's calling immediately? Immediately.
Oh, he's a stud. I would pay him, but I just thought it was a terrible performance from him last night. They needed more. And I'm usually someone who kills CeeDee Lamb for these big games because he usually doesn't show up. He showed up big time last night. Pickens, that cannot happen. Like, you can't have an interception there.
That happened to CeeDee Lamb a couple years ago, like multiple times, and he's still awesome.
Right,
would you give it up on CeeDee Lamb right then?
No, but they've lost a lot with him, and he's been a reason why they've lost playoff games.
But still, he's still an incredibly valuable player.
But I think at the end of the day with Dallas, we're trying to win a Super Bowl. If that's the goal for this eventually, if we know this season may be lost, but you're trying to build a champion.
So you wouldn't pay Lamb either?
I'm not saying I wouldn't pay these guys. My point is, do these guys show championship pedigree? And I'm not sure. Like last night, that was a do or die. You got to give everything kind of game. That game you can't lose. And to start at the second half and you throw your hands out there kind of loosey-goosey and let Robertson just get his hand in there and it causes a pick, the game was over by that point. There was no way Dallas was coming back. They tried, but there was not enough possessions in the game the way the Lions were scoring. You had zero margin for error. You could not have a half-ass route there.
I'm with EJ. I think that it looked like Detroit was the more locked in, dialed in team. Now, it still became a 3-point game at one point because I don't think Detroit is necessarily a great football team, okay? They're not a great football team. But I think you can always control your effort. And Dak Prescott was obviously out there trying to do everything he could. Other guys were out there trying to run and go as 100 miles an hour. TJ's point, CeeDee Lamb, 6 catches, 121 yards before he left with the the concussion. And on the concussion, the play where he got banged up, he's trying to do an Odell Beckham-like catch, one hand all the way behind him, trying to do everything he could to bring down that ball. I don't know. I just wonder, also about George Pickens. So Richard Sherman had this pointed criticism of him. What does it do for the next game, right? Because Dak Prescott can stand at the podium and say, we're all still locked in, we're all still dialed in. That's great for the quarterback to say that. But, the playoff chances are slim to none. And I'm curious how Pickens shows up next week, right? It's does he bounce back and have a really big game, or do we see this compound itself after this mini bye?
Gosh,
we'll all find out. I don't know.
I hope you guys are right, and he gets free on free agency is in the bargain bin. Because I would take that guy in a second now.
I just think they'll franchise tag him. I don't think that he's going to get the $40 million next year if he continues to check out.
I mean, didn't he just have 140 yards against the Chiefs last week?
Yeah, but what was his effort last night?
Yeah, I know. He had a bad game. He had one play. And by the way, I'm watching that interception again. That was a bang play. To immediately judge a whole guy's season on one play, seems harsh to me. But
here's the thing. He obviously comes in with a reputation. If he was this no doubt unbelievable guy, he would have never shaken loose from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, this is why Pittsburgh didn't pay him. Because he can get taken out of games by factors outside the football game, whether it's another guy trash talking him or the refs. We know he's a great talent. Nobody's denying his talent. We've seen it all season. This was a little alarming to me just because, that's why Pittsburgh got rid of him, even though they desperately need him, clearly. They clearly need him.
They brought in another guy who's able to get taken out of games sometimes by trash talking refs and DK Metcalf, and they paid him. Joe's in San Francisco. What's up, Joe?
Hey, Richard Sherman, he's right. He showed bad makeup last night. If I'm a Cowboys organization, I'm taking a good look at that because they lost that game last night, and that could have been a game that put them in the playoffs. And when you go to the playoffs, you keep moving. The organization is making money. That's money that they don't got to pay him the $40 million he's going to be looking for. So I would be taking a good look at that. And the other thing is, I called a couple of days ago because you guys were talking about your high cable bills, but we use some boxes called the VC box, and you can watch any baseball game, football game, basketball game, anything that's being televised, you can watch it, and it's got 35,000, 40,000 movies on it, and they keep up with all the new stuff. So, when you guys talked about Showtime and Peacock and all that's on the box. And you one-time fee, and that's it. We don't pay no cable bill. We pay $200, $300 for the box. It runs off your internet.
Yeah.
And you just pay your internet bill, and that's it. You're done with cable.
Interesting. I've never heard of this before, Joe. Thank you for the call. I'm looking it up. The VC box, free ad for them, I guess.
The first thing I see here is a Reddit thing saying, how is VC box legal?
You know what? You know some of the crazy stuff they'll do now where they will give you Pearl, they're able to, some of these streaming services will make it so it looks like your TV is in a foreign country, and then you're able to get sports packages. Yeah. It's you're sitting in Wisconsin, but they'll tell you that your cable or your streaming is coming from Ukraine or something. It's crazy. I don't know why I picked Ukraine. That's probably a bad example. Whatever.
Yeah, Indonesia or someplace like that. Yeah,
India. Yeah. And it's nuts. I don't know how that's legal or works, but I guess it does.
It feels like there's got to be some kind of loophole they're making to make this stuff happen.
Have you ever talked to our boss Ryan Hurley about his situation, his setup with his TV?
Is that for over the air?
Well, I think it's kind of funny. He's got a situation. I don't know why it wouldn't be. He's paying for it. It's not like he's not pirating it, but he's able to text some number if he wants a certain movie, and they're able to give it to him.
That's wow.
Should I have not said that over the air?
It's totally fine. I'm actually that's the way we're getting around these streaming services. I got to get up on it apparently because
I feel like a loser.
Too much money.
I know. I still have cable.
So
a dope.
My cable's free, but that's because I got to deal with a new apartment. So.
But it won't be free forever.
No. It's only for a year. Savoring it.
Watch all the. What do you even watch on cable?
Sports.
Baseball, yeah. Baseball specifically.
Basically sports, yeah. Trying to figure out what TBS or TNT is when it's March Madness or baseball season, baseball playoffs.
Yep, that's what you need it for. FS1, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm checking this out. Thank you to Joe in San Francisco. I don't know. 888-710-4ISN. I mean, it has gotten out of control.
People in the chat are saying this is legit. Starting Park Racing in the Twitch chat is saying that, yeah, I got it too. It's awesome.
Man, I got to get on this. I got to cut the cord. It's just like, I don't know. Maybe it's my age and what I'm used to. It's like hard for me to take that final step.
Well, if you're looking to keep Netflix, you may have got some bad news because they just bought Warner Brothers. So
did that go through yesterday?
Yeah, well, it's official today, yeah. So get ready for whatever the bill's going to be. That bill's going
yeah, way up.
They just raised it, right?
Yeah, and it's going to – I mean, they're going to have HBO and DC and Game of Thrones, everything. I mean, basically everything Warner has now is going to be under Netflix. That's going to cost you an arm and a leg every month.
Yeah.
You have to give up your firstborn to keep Netflix every week.
I mean, plus all the live sports they have now. Basically, they've cornered the market on boxing.
Yeah, boxing, and now they have wrestling.
Right. They've got WWE. They've got it all. They have all the Christmas games now for the NFL, Pearl.
Yeah.
Huh.
Disney and Netflix will own everything in a matter of a very short amount of time.
18 months?
Yeah. It's scary.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. The worst part about it, obviously, like the world, consolidates and all that. But if you ever have an issue, good luck getting someone on the phone. Like, you're never getting any kind of customer service. That's the worst part.
Yeah, it's over.
It's over. Because it's all AI and, like, if you press 1, if you need this, and it's a dead end. You're on the phone forever. By the way, speaking of AI, I saw this, Pearl, that they had an AI system pick the best bet that you can have for NFL football this week.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So this was a story that I saw on CBSSports.com.
Mm-hmm.
AI is picking what they believe the best bet of this current weekend, week 14 in the NFL. Do you know what they said is the best bet? They're backing the Cleveland Browns over the Titans. I'm like, there's no shot that the robots are taking our jobs yet because...
I picked the Browns in that one.
You can pick the Browns. I can't imagine anything that has to do with the Browns is the best bet of the weekend.
Really? I love that game because Myles Garrett is going to destroy that entire offense.
There's no team I trust less than the Browns. Maybe the Titans and the Browns are the two teams I trust the least.
Really? It's funny. I think the Titans are a totally different level of bad than the Browns. I feel like the Browns could beat anybody in a given week. Yeah, the Browns they have Myles Garrett. I like that AI.
Yeah, but then what do they do on offense?
Who cares?
They have 3 wins. Like, obviously, this is not a good football team.
I mean, you got the Broncos playing the Raiders this week.
Yeah, exactly.
The Rams and Cardinals.
Yeah, the Broncos will play anybody down to the final moment.
I just can't imagine any best bet would ever include the Browns.
That's interesting. I do this best bet thing, and I actually have the Browns.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you the machine?
Yeah, I think I actually considered looking at the Raiders because I feel like the Broncos will just play with their food in that one.
What about Rams Cardinals though?
And Rams coming off a loss, they need to make a statement here.
You know, it's funny about that Rams Cardinal. What's the spread on that one again?
8.5.
Yeah, it feels like the Cardinals in divisional games might spice. I mean, listen, these are NFL spreads. Anybody, I don't care. AI might be super and any supercomputer. The NFL spreads are the most well-vetted spreads in all of Vegas. Like, they know what they're doing. So, like, nobody, even AI is smarter than these spreads. Just keep that in mind at all times.
I don't know. The spread on last night's game was 3. And the final score was 14, the deficit, 44-30.
Yeah, I bet you more money came in on the Cowboys. So the spread was good, right?
Maybe. I don't know. 888-710-4ISN.
Wait. You don't believe in the spreads being smart?
No, obviously the spreads are amazing. And the over-unders at times can be even closer, which is crazy.
Right, but the whole object is to get as much money in as possible. No, these spreads are, NFL is very, they have AI set these spreads, I'll bet you, at some point. Like, that's AI going up against AI. But you can win. There used to be,
versus Andre
there are
Iguodala.
supercomputers, but the casinos can suss them out. like a guy will come with 24 different bets on Division II football or something. Like, oh, okay.
They're like, do you know Terry Rozier?
You have an algorithm that is a little too good.
888-710-4ISN. Maggie and Perloff show. So much to do, including conference championship games in college football. What does it mean when Alabama takes the field against Georgia in the SEC championship game? And what is the most important matchup of the weekend? We've got all that for you next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. 15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back. Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. All right, Pearl, while you're watching football this weekend, the NFL, that is, can I tell you who's going to be 2 special guest commentators?
Oh, who?
2 special guest commentators this week in the NFL. Both play for the New York Football Giants.
Okay, I know one of them because I saw the headline.
Yes. Jameis Winston is going to be on Fox, and Russell Wilson is going to be on CBS.
I saw Russell Wilson. I did not see Jameis.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, Russell Wilson probably should stay in the booth this weekend.
Yeah,
Jameis
maybe.
has got a lot more left.
You know, I just feel, in some ways, I kind of feel a little bad for Russell Wilson because Jameis Winston is so clearly going to be the better broadcaster here because he's got no filter and because he's got a way bigger personality that he'll let us all see. I don't know if Jameis is a little bit of a phony fraud. I have no idea if this is legit, if it's real, but Jameis is by far the more entertaining person.
Well, yeah, I mean, that doesn't always translate to broadcaster. I mean, nobody was, well, you guys don't like him, but nobody was more boring as a player than Tony Romo, and then he just cut loose in the broadcast booth. I think Russ would be good. You're right, he's going to be buttoned up, but I mean, the guy, listen, he talks for a living. He'll be fine. I think I bet you he gets hired. It'll probably be a little bit like Drew Brees, where at first he'll be too clean, then he'll come out and say stuff that is more controversial. I think he'll be fine. I think, honestly, do not go back to the Giants after this weekend.
Just stay with CBS?
Yeah.
Ask if you can just hang on for the rest of the year?
Yeah, I'll bet you we come in Monday and you're a little surprised, like, oh, Russ was better than I thought. I think it's possible.
No. He's such a corporation. I know that Mr. Unlimited, but I don't think he's going to be able to make fun of himself even.
Oh, but he blew up Sean Payton a couple weeks ago. I'm not surprised this is happening. Like we talked about this maybe being the setup, and here we are.
Yeah, reminds me a little bit of Tiki Barber. Because Tiki was Mr. Corporate. He was always, and then he did a very smooth transition into the booth. And Tiki was better. I'll be totally honest. Like Tiki was incredible as a player. But I think it could be, I think he could go out at about 36. Is he 36 now?
I think so.
Yeah, I think he could make transition into the booth pretty easily, probably doing color, because I don't know if he'd be good in a studio, but you're right, he doesn't say anything.
No, so I think he's going to do the studio. See, this is what I think you get with Russell Wilson. If it's about Sean Payton, who tried to take away his injury guarantees and his contract money, and it had something real personal, then he's going to be good. But I don't know if he's going to criticize people, right? Like be critical of the game plan, of play calls, of performance, right? Like he has personal beef with Sean Payton. This reminds me of Drew Brees. Drew Brees when he was still a player, Pearl, but would do interviews a lot. I know he did a lot on Dan Patrick. He joined us on SI all the time. He was very generous with his time. If you got him talking about Roger Goodell, Drew Brees would bring a howitzer. He hated Goodell because of Bountygate. And you could get him to tee off on Goodell all the time. Everything else, very milquetoast, very vanilla, very down the middle. Now, to be fair to Brees, I like him on the games. He's actually been good. But when he was like asked to give his opinion about things going on in the NFL, unless it was Goodell that he had personal beef with, it was all very vanilla.
You were a loser, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I think Russell sounded a lot like Brady. We didn't say anything.
Brady hasn't been great.
Yeah, but he's got a little better. Actually, I think he talks too much now, where he probably didn't talk enough his first season. But I think he'll be totally like solid. I think he can make it as a broadcaster. You think he's just going to flame out immediately?
I don't have a lot of faith.
Russ is pretty smart. Yeah, I think. Listen, I know like Richard Sherman hates him and he comes off as phony, but Russ, there's a fun, good Russ under there. The Wisconsin Russ. Bring that Russ back.
It's up to him if he wants to let us into it. Rich is in Sacramento. Wants to talk about last night's Cowboys-Lions game. Lions win 44-30. What's up, Rich? Where are you?
Hey, I'm in Sacramento. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah.
So, hey, coming from a Cowboys perspective and watching Pickens last night, yeah, he had an off game, but I'm signing that dude no matter what. He's a baller. There was something off totally with him. He was just totally off. Even when you just watched him and looked in his eyes, something was missing. But the thing that stands out the most to me, obviously, what was lost, it was lost on the O-line and the D-line. I mean, that left tackle dude was just getting beat all night long.
Yeah, I felt,
and then you look
felt
at
bad for that dude.
I was a little troubled when Schottenheimer went for the field goal at the end right there. It was a 26-yard field goal. I'm like, go for the touchdown. You're right there. If you get it, Aubrey will kick a 65-yard field goal. So they lost with that. You turn the ball over 3 times. 2, obviously, sets you back. But the kickoff, the coverage is
terrible.
The special teams coverage is terrible. And I don't get it because that ball should be in the end zone every single kickoff with the strength of the legs of those guys. So something's off right there, too. I didn't get that.
Oh, no. If you kick it in the end zone, it comes out to the 35, so they won't do that. They have to kick it between the 0 and 20.
Well, and the way the kicker, the accuracy on those guys, still, it's better than giving it to the 50. I don't know what the average starting spot for the Lions
42.
was, but they just got flat beat. That in the heart of it is the Cowboys defense had 3 good games, and they fell back to where they were the last 7 weeks prior to that. They're horrible.
Yeah, Rich looked a little more like the pre-Quinnen Williams trade than the post-trade. Pearl, do you know who the special teams coordinator is for Dallas?
Oh, no, I actually, no, I don't. Who?
Sorensen. And do you remember this guy? Nick Sorensen?
Oh, yeah. He was.
You hated this guy.
He was like a coordinator somewhere, right?
The 49ers.
Yeah.
Special teams 49ers that you used to criticize the 49ers special teams like it bothered you to no end.
Yeah, no, he's terrible. I didn't realize they hired him. I mean, whatever happened to Bones Fossil? Why'd they let him out of the building?
I don't know. I don't know where Bones Fossil is.
He's around. No, he's a coordinator somewhere too now.
Titans, right?
What's that?
Titans, I believe.
Do you know who else is a mess? Is the All-Pro returner Kevontae Turpin. Every time he gets a punt, it's a total adventure. You don't know what he's going to do. Is he going to run backwards? Is he going to fake? Last night he got nailed for doing a fake fair catch. Yeah, there's something a little off in that unit. But I do think the bottom line, I mean, listen, you're talking a lot about George Pickens. The defense, especially on first and second down early in the game, they couldn't get control of the game. That was the problem. Like Detroit just had way too many first downs. That was what was gutting them the whole time.
Let's get to Andrew Bogish, who's got the latest and greatest. What's up, folks?
Guys, they were down 27-9 at one point on Thursday Night Football. The Cowboys did get within 3 points of the Lions twice in the fourth, but that was it.
Prescott back and looking. A lot of time. Throws, middle, caught. 15, and then intercepted by the Lions. Bounced in and out of the hands of the receiver and picked up by DJ Reed. Ryan Floyd had it. DJ Reed said, I'll take it, and the Lions have it, and they've got this game. They've got this game.
They got it, 44-30. Dak Prescott's second pick coming after Jahmyr Gibbs' third rushing touchdown. Here's his QB, Jared Goff.
It's hard not to take him for granted. He's so good every week and does a great job in everything we ask him. I think, we would have probably wanted to get more from him in the run game. There just wasn't much there, but the pass game and him being able to get in the end zone was awesome.
Gibbs only ran for 43 yards last night, but caught 7 passes from Goff for 77 yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown had 6 and 92 after seeming to be a long shot to play with that sprained ankle from Thanksgiving. The Cowboys' 3-game win streak ending with 3 turnovers and 5 sacks of Prescott. They now have 2 less wins than these Lions, who remain outside the playoff picture for now. The NFL and Players Association have agreed on a new system for playing surfaces. Teams will now pick from a pre-approved list of grass or synthetic fields, with all fields needing to be replaced by 2028. And it felt like he was the final piece to the Super Bowl puzzle in Buffalo, but now veteran corner Darius Slay is not reporting to the Bills after being claimed off waivers from the Steelers. Instead, he is considering retirement.
Yeah, I was a little ticked off by this story, not going to lie,
surprising.
as the resident Bills fan here, because first of all, what does he think's going to happen? Like, Darius Slay's been in the league for this long. Did he think that the Eagles, where he wants to go, just all of a sudden miraculously have the first waiver claim in the league? Like, you dummy. So now he's going to, pretend to retire so they can come out of retirement to go join the Philadelphia Eagles, 2 days before the playoffs? It doesn't work like that.
I would assume, though, that his agent probably back-channeled and said, hey, these are the teams what to play with, so don't claim him, please. And the Bills probably said, well, I don't care. I mean, they claimed him.
Also, why don't you want to show up in Buffalo? They have just as good a shot of in the playoffs probably as the Eagles do right now.
I don't think there's any person on planet Earth who has said that I want to show up in Buffalo in December.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's cold enough in New York. I can't imagine what the weather. Let's look up the weather in Buffalo today.
Yeah,
just to get an idea.
You don't have to buy a house and live there for the next 20 years. You got to show up for a couple months to a really good team.
Maggie, it's 15 degrees today.
That's balmy. Wait till January comes.
Yeah,
you got snow coming on Saturday.
We haven't even technically hit winter yet.
He's got to stay for that too. That's why he said, "Hell no."
Yeah,
because Philadelphia is 85 and sunny today. No way.
At least you can get a good cheesesteak every now and then, but geez,
man, this guy. It's a loser move.
Yeah, it is definitely a loser move. I mean, at this stage of his career,
he also stunk, which is why the Steelers didn't want him anymore.
He's not great.
And he's a locker room personality. He's got a big personality. But meanwhile, the Bills had to actually cut somebody to make room for him, and they put someone, I believe, on practice squad, and that person got scooped up by the Texans.
I was surprised the Bills wanted this guy.
They need help, dude.
Yeah, they need help, but I just think that he is a big personality. He hasn't played that great.
Oh man, he's easy to get open on.
Yeah, I mean,
I've watched him.
I just don't know
what
if this kind of guy you
happens.
want to bring your locker room late in the season.
Well, they feel like the locker room goes how Josh Allen goes, but
sure.
This is what happens when you botch the trade deadline. Then you're getting Brandon Cooks and you're getting Darius Slay.
Wait, no, Maggie, you didn't hear? It was the Jets' Muji's fault.
Yes,
he thinks all these young GM think this is Madden.
Yeah.
You guys are total idiots.
According to your guy, Brandon Bean.
Many, many moons ago, Doug Gottlieb hosted a show on this very network. He now works elsewhere and added a second gig as the head coach of Green Bay men's basketball team. Last night, his team was up 11, 4 minutes left against Robert Morris, and lost 80-78.
As you see, Coach Gottlieb not happy, frustrated the way out.
Oh, what did he do? The TV cameras caught him firing a chair against the wall as he left the court last night.
Oh, Doug, keep it together, man.
What a disgrace.
He's got 4 wins on the season. I think that's already surpassed the total from last year, no?
Matches,
okay.
Yes.
All right, so he's off to a goodish start. They're 4-6. They're obviously
could have been
making
5-5 last night.
It was Robert Morris.
Yeah.
You lose a game to one guy. Yeah.
I always laugh at that and then hate myself.
Usually I say for March. Stephen F. Austin, there goes Robert Morris 101, baby.
Listen, you got a big bounce back spot against Wright State this weekend.
Yeah.
So let's go, Doug.
Yeah, and then Joe Klatt's coming on in the afternoon, too.
They could have won
He
Doug hosts a radio
multitasks.
show.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
game
They
plan
could've
for
won
Wright State and also, do your power rankings of your
it's
top
one of
5
the-
quarterbacks.
It's unbelievable that he sustains a national radio show and coaches a team.
They could have won 4 in a row if they would have won this game.
Yeah. And Robert Morris might be good, right?
I can't speak to that, but you're up
Don't
11
you,
with 4
Fordham
minutes
usually
left.
plays them, don't they?
They do not. No.
No?
They are 7-3 this season, so they've started off okay.
You got to give me a Ken Palm or a net on those guys now. 7-3 can mean a lot of things.
This
Fordham is 6-3.
You look at me like I'm crazy to assume Fordham might play Robert Morris.
Hey,
Who's Fordham play? Like Colgate?
They actually did play Colgate their last game.
Wow.
Holy Cross tomorrow.
Pros in the stands for that one. We've never asked you. I don't think we've talked about this on the air about Jace Howard, who plays
Yes.
for Fordham. So how often do you see Juwan?
So, long story short, we see none of them because Juwan never came to a game while Jace was on the roster. He is no longer on the roster. Unfortunately, he has part of the reason why he didn't play at Michigan for 4+ years because he was always hurt and he had a medical retire in the last couple of weeks.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, so there's the chance of me and Juwan becoming fast friends is now off the table.
But we have it with Perloff, though.
Yeah, I
because
see him.
Perloff's-
He lived next door to me for like a month.
Yeah.
And then I saw him every day at the Starbucks, and I never saw him again. And you can't miss him. He's quite
Right.
tall.
And the crazy thing was one of the Fordham assistant coaches is Derek Phelps, the North Carolina guard. He's
Oh, no
literally
way.
the guy that forced the Weber turnover in that game.
No.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Probably why he doesn't want to show up to the games.
Yeah, it's too hard.
Yeah. Bad memories.
I think he's also working
Juwan
for the
walks in
Nets,
and
right?
just walks
is
right
that
out.
true? Travels a little bit.
Is he still with the Nets?
I think he is,
He is,
yes.
yeah. I saw him on the bench.
Do the
Oh,
Nets
he's on
even
that.
have a coaching staff? Does it even matter?
Shrapnel for
I mean,
Jordy Fernandez this morning.
Remember when Kyrie Irving said that everyone coaches the team, they're coaching off vibes, and Steve Nash was the head coach?
Yeah, they didn't need that. They didn't actually need a coach.
Need a head coach, yeah.
That was
coach
crazy.
off vibes.
Yeah, now they have a coach and they need players.
Vibes aren't going to do it.
No, this is not good enough. Danny Wolf vibes.
My favorite thing about the Nets now is that like your best player, Michael Porter Jr., is just like part podcaster now apparently, because it seems like every week there's a new podcast with him saying something completely insane. Like last week it was like, oh, I don't pay anybody tip.
He doesn't tip anybody?
Oh yeah, he said, I don't know why if I spend $3,000 on something that I gotta pay a $500 tip. That doesn't make sense to me. It was
What, does he live in Europe?
Look, Maggie.
He might be soon if he
you cleared it out of my algorithm. Michael Porter Jr. is giving literally takes on everything. Every week.
Wait, he thinks
on a different podcast, by the way. It's not always whatever podcast he's on. He seems like he's a guest on a podcast every week. And I'm like, how many podcasts out there?
And is he dating Sophie Cunningham?
Is that a thing, too? I didn't even know that.
I think so.
We're give him some points for that one.
He's also playing, I mean, again, take it with a grain of salt. He's playing very well for the Nets.
He's shooting the ball.
They love him, apparently.
He's shooting the ball like crazy. He's getting all the shots that he wants because that team is awful. But he's doing a Doug Gottlieb. He's now, like, he's on more podcasts.
Hosting a national radio show and playing guard for the Nets.
He's on more podcasts than Stephen A. Smith. This guy's always talking
Wait,
about
hold on
something.
1 second. I just got to back this up. He thinks he can go to a fancy restaurant with a big table of people and drop $3,000. That's a big check, but he can drop $3,000 and he would not have to pay. And actually, it's not even $500. Wouldn't $600 actually be the be 20%?
Yeah, it sounds
closer
about right.
to 20%?
Yeah, the official quote was, if you're spending $3,000 on a meal, you shouldn't have to pay $400 in tip.
What? How could he actually get to that logic? And again, $400 in tip is you being a cheapskate.
Listen, he'll tell you next week because he's going to be on another podcast talking about something else.
I hate when rich people are cheap.
I do too.
It's really annoying. Get a little class.
Eat the rich.
Yeah. Because
Bleep them. Curse. Say something mean to them. Call them a bad name.
Call them a name.
Billionaires are evil. Boom, 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 boom.
Take that, FCC.
You know, in this day and age, that could get you thrown away.
By the way, Michael Porter Jr., he's averaging 25 points a game.
I know.
I did not know. I thought the Nets had like 5 guys named Cam, and we're just trying to get a high draft
One of
pick.
them's hurt, and one of them got traded. I think they're down to 0 Cams right now on the active roster.
I mean, they played the Knicks, and Mike Brown after the game was like, our defense against Michael Porter Jr. was unacceptable. He had like 30-something, I think, and the Knicks won by 100 points. It was just like, he can score as many points as he wants, and it just does not matter because that team has no NBA players, essentially.
Yeah, remember, by the way, Michael Porter Jr. is all gravy because he was this great talent who was supposed to not have an NBA career because his back was toast.
Yeah.
And now he's done more than we could have expected. The guy has a ring.
If he never got hurt, I mean, he's already become a great player, or a good player at least. If he never got hurt, he probably would be a perennial all-star. Because considering he's doing this with a messed up back, imagine if he wasn't hurt.
Wasn't the rap on him always the mentality, though?
Yeah, he's a knucklehead.
Yeah, clearly, if he's stiffing waiters and waitresses on $3,000 tabs, I'm not about that.
And I'm a loser.
710 4I said, Bogues, thanks a lot. Coming up next, we have to get to the SEC championship game and the other most important championship game of the weekend as far as the field of 12 college football playoff. Maggie Perloff.
You're in a 5-minute break.
The light had chased freedom like a man possessed. Infinity chased a merge.
Well, drunk as Sam stumbled into work at night, smelling like a whiskey, cheap boxed wine. Tried to flirt with Lisa from accounting again, but HR warned him that's strike number 10. Oh Sam, you gotta read the room. You ain't Casanova, you're just full of booms. Where the hell is Peter Polite? Did he call in sick or win the damn lottery? Nobody's seen him since 2:15. Was it a long night or a rendezvous? Oh, Bellotti, did you ghost us for good? Or are you just stuck in your neighborhood?
every word. Call the boss, baby, man, that's absurd. Tried to high five, but he missed by a mile. Knocked over the coffee, still flashing a smile. Then he said, I may get too familiar too soon. I had told my HR and writing, yeah, that's getting old. Where the hell is Peter Blight? Was he trapped in traffic or hiding in the lobby? Phones keep ringing, but he won't pick up. Left Maggie and Perloff to clean this up. Lady said I may get too familiar too soon. I am told by HR and writing, yeah, that's getting old. Where the hell is Peter Blight? Was he trapped in traffic or hiding in the lobby? Phones keep ringing, but he won't pick up. Left Maggie and Perloff to clean this up. Maybe he's in Vegas, maybe he's in Spain, or maybe he just hit snooze again. We got dead air day filling in, while Sam gets written up again. Where the hell is Peter Blight? Left the show hanging like a back right. And drunk little Sam, man, get a clue before HR comes and cancels you. So if you're working and hearing this jam, keep your distance from drunk little Sam. And if Blighty ever returns one day, we'll all just shrug and say, no way.
One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
All right, this MLS game preview is sponsored by Lowe's. Find what you need to get projects done from brands you trust at prices you'll love. Lowe's, we help you save. All right, what's going on in the MLS? I know it's a big weekend.
So Inter Miami FC hosts the Vancouver Whitecaps for the MLS Championship at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox tomorrow. In the opening 3-match series of the MLS Cup, Vancouver fell 2-1 to the Football Club of Dallas, but went on a two-game win streak, including the deciding game on penalty kicks, and then winning again on penalty kicks in the quarterfinal match against LAFC. Lastly, it was a decisive 3-1 victory against San Diego FC in the semis that secured their spot in this matchup. On the other side of the field, Inter Miami split their first 2 games of the opening round with Nashville SC before winning 3 straight matches by 4 goals, including the deciding Game 3 against Nashville 4-0, the quarterfinal game against FC Cincinnati 4-0, and lastly the semifinal match against New York City FC 5-1. After being held scoreless in that game, the MLS season goal-scoring leader Lionel Messi will look to get back in the goal column as he has scored 6 goals so far throughout these playoffs, including points on all 4 of their goals during their quarterfinals match. For Vancouver and Miami, this is their first Cup appearance each, and once again, 2:30 p.m. tomorrow on Fox.
Wow. Move over, Alexi Lawless, the new soccer analyst in town.
Wow, Scarpacci nailed it.
By the way, I heard it.
That was like Magic Johnson's tweets.
Yeah, it was a little literal. But I saw an interesting take on this game. Dan Le Batard was going off on Fox and everyone else. This should be a massive deal. Messi's about to win the MLS Cup, and there has not been a lot of buzz about it. I feel like everybody's talking about Lane Kiffin and Miami, Notre Dame, and MLS should be taking more advantage of this. You have to admit, it's kind of, I don't know, seems to come out of nowhere. I didn't even know Vancouver's team was called the Whitecaps. Let alone,
Well, that could be a you problem.
it feels like sorry, were you were
No, I'm just saying. I agree with you. Like, what do you think they could have done? Like, promote it more during the NFL games?
I mean, Le Batard broke it down. Like, they really have not put the whole promotional weight behind this because they seem so focused on football. That was Le Batard's take. And I kind of agree with him. Like, you know what? I watch a ton of Fox. I watch millions of games on Fox. A lot of college football, too.
Totally.
And I just don't feel like I'm hit home with a lot of Cody Campbell ads and Donald Trump on college football. I don't feel like the MLS is, hits my timeline all the time.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely know that we're into the semifinals of The Masked Singer whenever it's on Fox, but I did not know about Messi. No, I mean, yeah, it's odd, but a lot of MLS games are on Apple. Right?
Yeah,
so,
because they had that deal that Messi's getting a cut of that too, which is crazy.
It's a subscription-based thing, obviously. So they kind of put a lot of their games sort of behind that paywall. I don't know.
Wow, this one's on Fox. And Le Batard says it's about time they amp it up, but that'll be fun to watch. Of course, he's down in Miami. And the thing is, it'll go up against the end of the BYU-Texas Tech game and the beginning of the Georgia-Alabama game.
Oof.
I think you and I sort of see this. I think that Texas Tech game is going to be over by then, so you can watch Messi. I think Texas Tech is going to roll. I
hope so.
Stealing another take, Lance Zierlein, our buddy, NFL.com draft analyst, is like, watch out for Texas Tech to win this title. He's like, they have NFL players at every spot. Do not just look at them as a charity case from the Big 12. He said they're a legit contender in a slightly wide open field. I thought that really interesting because you're right. We don't talk about Tech.
They're the fourth-ranked team in the country, aren't they? I mean, we do talk about them.
But we don't talk about them as a real contender.
Well, because they have not had the schedule that, like, we didn't see them play against Ohio State. We haven't seen them play against, some of the bigger teams. Now, they already played BYU, not bigger teams, you know what I'm saying? Higher-ranked teams.
Absolutely.
And they played BYU and they smoked them earlier. So, but you always say, Pearl, it's hard to beat a team twice. But I think Texas Tech, and add into it the recruiting classes that all came out the last couple days. Pearl, National Signing Day was on Wednesday. And you just see more and more talent spread out.
Yeah, for sure.
We talk about this like college football and how much it's changed like exponentially in the last couple of years because of NIL. It's still going through this massive transformation. And all those former blue blood teams, I'm not saying we're not going to have the Ohio States and the Michigans and the Georgias and Alabamas, but look at Texas Tech. Lance saying they could win the whole thing, and he's a draft analyst just saying on pure NFL talent alone.
When's
the last time he said that about anyone that wasn't a traditional blue blood?
No, you're right. That generally doesn't work that way. But I do feel that, something about the way this year lays out, because we haven't seen Ohio State really play anyone except for Texas. So,
yeah, but we have Ohio State. We got years and years and years of
I know that's why we perceive
data.
them. That's why we perceive them, but it just feels like anything goes once this 12-team playoff starts. And in fact, I feel like the 3 teams that are going to be left out, Miami, Vanderbilt, and Alabama and Texas, could probably beat any of these teams too on a given Sunday or Saturday.
We get into it. Vanderbilt had an interesting idea. Outside the box thinking. A little entrepreneurial. We'll get to their plan. Try to sneak into the college football playoff. We'll get to that in just a little bit. Plus, we're breaking down all these conference championship games, and the Dallas Cowboys bid it last night in Detroit.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Prescott works out of the gun. Turpin in motion to the right side. Prescott's got it, wants to throw, does. Up in the air, picked up by the Lions. Coming back the other way, Derek Barnes down to the 20. Barnes 15 and runs out of bounds at the 13-yard line. It got knocked up in the air right to the linebacker, who puts the Lions in business with a 23-yard return.
Lions radio, that was right out of the gate. The pass intended for George Pickens, but gets picked off right there. And 2 plays later, the Lions were back in the end zone. 27-9 was the score at that point. To be fair to the Cowboys, they lost this game. The final score was 44-30. They did come back to make it a 3-point game. They did have to make the Lions sweat a little bit, but ultimately it was the lines of scrimmage were clearly not good enough for Dallas. George Pickens could not pick up the slack for CeeDee Lamb, who went out with a concussion in this game, and some self-inflicted wounds, a couple bad calls, and bada bing, bada boom, and you lose this game, and basically the playoff chances for the Cowboys are down to single digits.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough way to lose. I do give him credit for coming back. I think, we were talking about, I think a lot of the blame has gone to George Pickens on both here and the internet.
Some of it, yeah.
I think the defense was a big letdown last night because...
Definitely.
And I knew this too. I said it yesterday. They didn't really get to Patrick Mahomes or Jalen Hurts. They can't rush the passer without blitzing. So it is still, I know that it's worked out better in the second half of the season, but they still obviously miss a player like Micah Parsons.
No doubt. Yeah. I mean, listen, the Lions brought in the extra linemen quite a bit last night, but Jared Goff was able to handle whatever pressure they even got near him. And they were able to have explosive plays down the field, picked on the rookie in the secondary for Dallas. Trayvon Diggs had practiced all week but didn't play in this game, Pearl. So that's obviously a blow. And yeah, this defense looked like the pre-Quinnen Williams trade defense, not the post-Quinnen Williams trade defense. But it's not like they got gashed necessarily on the ground. But Jahmyr Gibbs was able to get out in space. They were able to scheme him open, and he had 3 touchdowns last night.
Yeah, and it was 44-30. 7 points were on an interception.
Yep.
The problem was also the kickoffs. Like, the Lions didn't get that many yards. They were outgained by Dallas because they started at midfield every time. That's what I think one of my big takeaways was: do not kick field goals anymore, because the dynamic kickoff just gives the other team the ball so far down the field.
Yeah, it felt like the Lions were basically starting at the 40 almost every single drive. But here's the thing. This is like the Cowboys, one of their best weapons is Brandon Aubrey. He broke the record last night. 63 yards was one record that had stood for a really long time. And he knocked that thing through like it was no big deal.
That's an extra point for him.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they rely on him a little too much. Actually, let's hear that clip from Brian Schottenheimer, please. Scarpacci, I believe this was cut 17. Thank you. He says the offense had big plays but settled for too many field goals.
Really proud of Flournoy, him stepping up. I thought CeeDee before the injury was outstanding. We knew we'd hit some explosives, and unfortunately we just, we weren't very good in the red zone. Kicked too many field goals, and against a team like this, you can't kick field goals.
It's just funny, like the way he's saying it. I don't think he means it this way, Pearl, the Dallas Cowboys head coach. Like he was some innocent bystander. Like he's almost talking about that he was sitting in the first row. It's like, dude, you're deciding whether they go for it on 4th and 3 or whether they kick the field goal. That's your choice.
Yeah, whoever that Cowboys coach is who didn't go for it, I don't know what he was thinking.
I think he was.
But he did say that
about the analytics guys. I really do, because even Amazon last night was kind of saying, it's like you could kick the field goal here. Like they kind of let Schottenheimer off. Whatever their metrics were saying. I wonder if he was deferring to the analytics guys.
Maybe I miss it, but Herbie said that, but I didn't actually see an analytic that said, no, don't go.
Okay, so
did they show the graphic and I maybe miss it?
Okay, so do you ever watch the alternate Amazon Prime stream?
Yeah, I watched it last night.
Right, so you can tell sometimes what happens is that guy, I forgot his name,
Sam Schwartzfeld or something.
So anyway, he comes on and says like this very insightful kind of next-gen stats sort of thing. And then like 2 seconds later, they say it on the broadcast. Have you noticed? They kind of funnel that information from...
But often they go with the graphic. ESPN has it, the green thumb and the red thumb, right?
They'll do it on the alt stream. They'll show you even different graphics than they do on the regular broadcast.
But they didn't... Okay, so maybe Thursday night doesn't put it on the regular, but ESPN always has the go.
They don't do the go or no go, but he was.
Yeah, because I thought that was a go. I actually was surprised that was a no go.
Dak was really mad.
Yeah, well, he should be, because you're at a 4th and 3 on their 11 at the end of the game. Yeah. You're down 2 scores, and your kicker.
Oh no, Dak was mad at the end of half.
Oh, sorry, at the end of half.
He was furious,
let's say at the end of the game, right, where in theory, it's a 2-score game, but it's a touchdown and a field goal. Your kicker can hit from 63. You're at the 11. Go for the touchdown there, because then if you get the ball back, you know that all you have to do is be hovering around midfield and you're golden.
Yeah. No more Dak Prescott.
To be honest, though, here's the real situation. The Dallas defense couldn't stop the Detroit Lions in the second half. That's why you go for it, is because you have to be in the game you're in. The defense had no answers. Bada bing, bada boom. I regretted it at the moment I said.
They did. I mean, listen, Detroit got a little conservative because they jumped out. It was 27-9, and then Detroit slowed it down. At the very end, I thought Dallas's defense had finally adjusted. And we talked about earlier, there was a 3rd and long play where Jared Goff was about to get hit, somehow flings it up in the air and lands right, I believe it was Jameson Williams' arms. Huge play, a 40-yard gain. Detroit, they're explosive. They're just nowhere out. They have a lot of talent on offense, even with a banged-up Amon-Ra St. Brown. They can put a 40 on you. It's not shocking.
We have a poll question up for you today if you'd like to partake. It's on X at Maggie and Pearl. And the question of the day is, will the Dallas Cowboys, do you think they'll make the playoffs even if they win out? And overwhelmingly, you guys are saying no. I think most rational, reasonable Cowboy fans, Pearl, have given up on playoffs this year. 84% of you saying no. Even if they win out, they will not make the playoffs. I just don't think the seas are going to part for them in the way that they would have to.
No, it's going to be tough. So if they do win out, they're 10-6-1, which means that there'll have to be 3 wild card teams who have 11 wins. Normal year, that does not happen. This year, that might happen because you got San Francisco, I believe, is at 9 wins. The Rams have 9 wins. Seattle has 9 wins. The Bears are in good shape, and now the Lions are 8-5, so they'll catch up, and they have head-to-head won't matter because the Cowboys have a tie, and then the Packers. It's going to be really hard. It's a weird year. So usually 10-6-1, that's pretty good. Usually 10-7 will get you in on most years. At least you have a good chance, but it's tough. I feel bad for the Cowboys. If they do win out, which I actually expect them to, I think it's going to be a lot of regret. They're going to be like, darn it, this should have been the year.
I did hear bells.
Minnesota's next home for the Chargers, then at Washington, at the New York Giants to finish out the season. Andy's in Michigan, wants to talk about the winner's side of this. That'd be the Lions. Good morning, Andy.
Good morning, guys. Love the show. Hey, Lions, good game. Not a great game, but they're really going to have to win out if they really want any chance. You guys just touched on it. The NFC South teams with 9 wins. I mean, they're going to beat up on each other a little bit, but Lions need some help. I still not a believer of the Bears. That might as well be Mitch Trubisky back in quarterback. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
I wanted to see if you guys caught any of the pregame. Now, I never watched pregame, but I was really excited for the game. I was watching pregame, and this was funny to me. I forget the female reporter, but she said, like, all of a sudden Richard Sherman's talking, and she's like, "Hey, that's Jerry Jones. Hi, Jerry." And Richard Sherman's just like, okay. And then he continues. And I kind of want to know if, first of all, if you saw it, and second of all, has that ever happened, like a fanboy thing, like if you're doing a live show and you're like, "Hey, that's Howie Long" or something.
Yes. So yes and yes. I'm imagining it's Carissa Thompson if she was out there with Richard Sherman and doing you're distracted, Andy, thank you for the call, all of a sudden by someone who kind of catches your periphery. It's happened to me before. I was doing a live red carpet event for Sports Illustrated when I used to work for them. We were live streaming. Sports Illustrated used to do most fashionable 50. So they would basically have the 50 most best dressed athletes, and they'd throw a big party, and there'd be a red carpet. We'd live stream it. And I was interviewing Kyrie Irving at the time. This is before any of the weird stuff that he said, but he was with the Cavs. And all of a sudden, Andre Iguodala showed up, and they were talking trash to each other. But it was like all of a sudden, like right behind. I kind of had to be like, "Kyrie, hold on one second," and like grabbed Andre Iguodala to make a moment so that they could both be on, because they had both just played each other in the finals.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
By the way, we love Carissa.
She's great.
Yeah, they call her not as pleased. Would you do that for Jerry Jones though? Because if you're doing an interview and Jerry walks right by, do you think that would lose your focus a little bit? I mean, Jerry's kind of accessible. I don't know if that's a big deal of Carissa Thompson. I feel like she probably sees him a lot.
So I didn't see the interaction.
No.
But if Jerry is crossing the camera, then you want to call it out so the audience is all saying to themselves, hey, there's Jerry Jones. If he's off camera, nobody knows. Unless you're trying to say, Jerry, come over here, give him a microphone and have him join your pregame. I think I'd let it go.
Yeah. Yeah, right. When you say cross camera, so not in front of them, but behind
but like
them.
behind.
Yeah.
If all of a sudden, like, then you want to acknowledge, hey, Jerry Jones just walked by our set. Because
Exactly.
the audience saw it.
Exactly. Because I think you can't just ignore it. Jerry's a big presence, so I get it. And again, Carissa's obviously a pro.
Yeah, she's really, really good.
Yeah.
But also, like, where do you think Jerry would be? He's not missing this game.
It's kind of funny. Hey, Jerry, for some reason, I find Jerry really fun right now. I don't know. We're getting probably towards the end of his career, so might as well enjoy it. I think when eventually he does step down, we're going to miss Jerry Jones. I'm being dead serious. Like the drama.
What makes you think he's stepping down?
Good point. I mean, exactly. Eventually.
I think the most famous, hey, there's so-and-so, probably has to be the Super Bowl, the story about Joe Montana seeing John Candy on the sideline.
That's what
right?
I was thinking about. That's when the caller said that. I was trying to think of what's the, hey, look at so-and-so.
It was like the game-winning drive, and all of a sudden he looks over and goes, hey, it's John Candy. Which I still haven't seen that documentary, by the way.
Yeah, it's good. It's kind of heartbreaking. And was that the Super Bowl that we're not allowed to talk about because they beat Boomer Esiason's Bengals, or was it the 81 Super Bowl?
I thought it was 81. I don't think John Candy is Boomer Super Bowl.
It's the Ken Anderson Super Bowl, right? Probably.
Yeah, Boomer's down the hall, former NFL MVP, and we just don't bring it up. Why would we? We like him. We're friends.
Hey, I mean, listen.
I'm like scouring for this interaction.
Well, with Carissa and Jerry?
I did not watch the pregame, so I missed it.
What the hell was that all about?
Okay, you know what, EJ, let's take a quick break, and then we'll get you your NFL preview in 60. Every game on Sunday, 60 seconds or less. We also have some Kalen DeBoer sound for you, the Alabama coach, defending his love of the Alabama job, Pearl, because after there were some rumblings that he would want to leave for Penn State. So we'll get to all of that. Major conference championship games this weekend as well. It's MVP.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 2 minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. You know what that music means. NFL in 60. We go through every game real quick. EJ, why don't you get us started?
Okay, so let's head down to the ATL where the 9-3 Seahawks would like to keep pace in the NFC West. They take on the 4-8 Falcons.
Yeah, if Tyrod Taylor and A.D. Mitchell could have a day against the Falcons, what do you think Sam Darnold and Jackson Smith and Jigba are going to do? I just think this one has got maybe big Seattle offensive game written all over it, Pearl. The Falcons defense started out the year really well. They've faded now down the stretch, and the offense is probably still without Drake London. So I'm not giving the Falcons much hope in this one.
You know, Falcons defense can once in a while be a little salty. I heard on the Pro Football Focus podcast that this style of defense gives Sam Darnold some trouble. So maybe they make it an interesting game. And I don't know, Seattle at 1 o'clock game, that old time.
Body clock?
Maybe Seattle comes out a little flat and makes it more interesting.
Let's head to Buffalo, where you'll have a rematch of the 2022 AFC Divisional Round. Bills host the 4-8 Bengals.
Thanks for that great memory.
What happened in that game?
Yeah, I don't
cold.
want to talk about it. The Bills got
cold.
thumped. So I will always have a healthy fear of Joe Burrow, but actually have a maybe even healthier fear of Chase Brown in this game. And just the ability for the Bengals to have this nice complement, Pearl, of running the ball and passing the ball now that Burrow is back. Bills defense are going to have their hands full for sure. Now, it's probably just going to be a score fest. So I take the over, even though there's snow showers in the area. I think it's just going to be score for score, and hopefully either the Bills defense can come up with a stop or two at the end of the game, or the Bills can just outscore the Bengals into oblivion.
If Joe Burrow has a big game and they win, are they going to consider naming the new stadium after him like they do at Burrowhead?
Oh, please. There's so many other guys who own the Bills just like Joe Burrow.
Well, I know, but this would be funny if Joe Burrow took the mantle from
Tom
Patrick
Brady.
Mahomes. Well, I was thinking Mahomes.
Well, Tom Brady at one point, before Josh Allen got drafted by the Bills, no joke, Tom Brady held most of the passing records in Bills Stadium.
But I mean,
Think about that.
How many times has Mahomes knocked him out of the playoffs?
Yeah, but only once in Buffalo.
What's his record in Buffalo in the playoffs?
1-0.
Yes. And what's Burrow?
1-0.
Okay. Next game.
All right, let's get over to Cleveland in what is being now known as one of Perloff's best bets. Browns host the Titans.
Yeah, I like this for the Browns. Myles Garrett needs 4 sacks to set the all-time record, I believe. And then Cam Ward's the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. I encourage people to watch this game. Not for Myles Garrett, not for Shedeur Sanders. There is no quarterback who's flinging it more wildly around the NFL field than Cam Ward. He just drops back and he's like, oh, maybe someone's down there. And he's got a cannon. Makes it even more fun. I don't know what the Titans are doing. They don't have a coach, so I'm not going to kill him. But that's the thing. Like, the Browns might not be good. The Titans are one of the worst teams of all time.
Yeah, this is a bad one. Not a lot of fun to this game. But can I say something? And I'm not wishing for this at all. But you mentioned Cam Ward takes a lot of risks and takes a lot of sacks. You got to be careful because against this Cleveland defense, and especially Myles Garrett, you'll take a sack and you're not going to get up. And I really hope that Cam Ward's season doesn't potentially get put on the shelf with this game. I'm being serious. He's got to be able to protect himself. We talk about this with Jackson Dart all the time. It's not so much about Cam Ward running into trouble like Dart does, but he does hold on to the ball way too long.
Let it fly, Cam.
Let's head over to Minnesota where J.J. McCarthy's back from concussion protocol. Jaden Daniels, though, not back. Vikings against the Commanders.
I don't think they should need Jaden Daniels necessarily to win this game, right? I mean, the Vikings got officially eliminated from anything with the NFC North. They're 4-win team. Everything has just gone bad. I think we're all on Justin Jefferson watch at this point to see whether or not he's going to ask for a trade at the end of the year. I still believe the Commanders will win this game.
I mean, the Vikings are favored. I would think if J.J. McCarthy wins, like, Commanders are pretty bad, too. I think you're underestimating how bad the Commanders are.
J.J. McCarthy is terrible.
Yeah, I mean...
There was that stat that if he spiked the ball every single play, he would have had a higher passer rating than what he had in his last start. Think about that.
Yeah, it's funny. I lean Vikings in this one.
Let's head over to MetLife Stadium, which will now become Gotham City as the Jets unveil their NFL rivalry uniform, a Gotham City-inspired uniform when they take on the Miami Dolphins at home.
Wow, I'm shaking. I think the best thing that the Jets have going for... By the way, both teams have gotten a little bit better.
Both teams are red hot.
At this point of the season.
Both teams have won. They've won at 80% over the last 5 games.
Yeah, what? The Jets have won 2 games and Miami's won 4?
The Jets have won 3 of 5. Miami's won 4 or 5.
Wow.
Probably if you took the last 5 games, this would be probably like 2 and 3 seed in the whole NFL.
I think this is one where probably Tyrod Taylor is obviously a much better option right now than Justin Fields. And if this is going to be, it's freezing right now in New York. Like, that's probably the best thing that the Jets have going for them is that Tua in this really cold weather is tough.
That's a good point.
Let's go to Tampa Bay, where the Bucs also look to stay in first place. They got the lowly Saints coming to town at 2-10.
Oh, lowly Saints, you say? I am getting hit on my X timeline with plays showing Tyler Shuck just ripping 20-yard passes down the field. There's a buzz out there that Tyler Shuck, the Saints quarterback, might be the real deal. So I actually am going to scout him against this Bucs team. Meanwhile, the Bucs are probably still going to make the playoffs, and Mike Evans, though, will not get his 1,000-yard season unless he goes bananas. And I think is he coming back this week? Do you have that, EJ?
I do not have that. I think he's on his way back, though. I know he's trying to practice.
But have you seen any of this Tyler Shuck noise that is out there that is, the big buzz around the water coolers?
Yeah, so here's the thing. Everyone can look good in a 90-second highlight reel if you only include the best throws. What else is happening?
Are good. Okay. His stats are really good.
By the way, Mike Evans limited participation in practice, so we'll see if he's able to give a full go. Let's go to a massive game in the AFC South. This is a battle for first place. Jaguars host the Colts.
So this is either the Jags retain first place in the AFC South or the Colts can regain first place in the AFC South. And to be honest, I think the AFC South could have 3 teams in the playoffs this year, which is funny. The Jags have been on an upward trajectory, whereas the Colts are going backwards, especially offensively, where the Jags have been really good on offense lately, and the Colts are barely scoring 16 points a game at this point. And Jonathan Taylor is not getting the kind of rush yards that he was enjoying because Daniel Jones is compromised. Like the broken bone in the fibula or whatever he's dealing with is a challenge, Pearl.
Yeah, and famously the Colts are awful in Jacksonville. Remember Carson Wentz lost that game? They just can't win in Jacksonville. They haven't won there since 2014. This is going to be who can control the game on the ground, who can run the ball. That's 100% of the battle here because both passing games are wildly inconsistent.
One of the NFL's most physical rivalries gets renewed this weekend as the Steelers travel to the Ravens. This is another battle for division first place in the AFC North this time.
I heard a line that made me so happy about this game. It was one of the Ravens defensive players told a younger Ravens defensive player, "You aren't a Raven until you beat the Steelers." Like, that is what we need more of in the NFL. I feel like Lamar Jackson hasn't been able to run at all. Derrick Henry's looked slower. They are about to gash the Steelers for 400 yards on the ground because that's what they did last year to them in the playoffs. I think the Ravens, who are beyond desperate, are going to control the game.
This is a great time to get the Steelers. I mean, things couldn't be worse, right? And I don't know if this is like, oh, the Steelers got them right where they want them, with everyone doubting them. I don't think so. They've lost 5 of 7. Aaron Rodgers is hurt, and they just gave up a career day in rushing to the Buffalo Bills. I think that the Ravens are going to steamroll here.
A few weeks back, these two teams played one of the worst NFL games I'd ever seen. Well, get ready. Broncos and Raiders, they play again, this time at 4 local time Eastern in Las Vegas.
And remember, that game, it was a terrible game, but it was a close game.
10-7.
It was one of those games where we asked ourselves, is every close game a good game? Narrator, they are not.
Every single Denver game is
a close game. Not this one.
Why?
Because I don't think that the Raiders are bringing anything anymore.
That was
quite frankly.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah, and what's happened since then?
The same thing that was happening before then.
Fired offensive coordinator, all the back and forth about who's calling plays, what kind of style scheme. It has just all gone bad. And unless Pete Carroll's got the all-time, rah-rah pep talk speech for them, I don't even know if that's going to work. The Raiders just do not have the talent, and I don't think that Denver is going to be I think they're going to try as best they can to make this thing a blowout.
Yeah, I mean, this should be the Denver blowout, but still, you have to look at that game and be like, yeah, you never know, because Denver will play any. I mean, that Washington team they took to the last play was not great last week either.
Let's head to Green Bay, where you got another battle for first place happening. You got the Bears traveling to face the Packers.
Maggie, we talked about this spread yesterday with Nick Costos from You Better You Bet. It's close to a touchdown for the Packers. I don't think Caleb Williams is going to be able to pass effectively in this game. I give the Packers defense as the one unit that decides this game.
So from what I can tell here, this is actually more of a must-win game for the Packers than it is for the Bears. If the Packers lose this game, there is not an avenue for them to win the NFC North. Whereas if the Bears lose this game, they still actually do have a way they can win the division. So if you're looking a little bit of, I don't know if there's extra motivation with maybe the oldest rivalry in the NFL that's actually a rivalry again, thankfully, that would be it. This is a bit more desperate for Green Bay.
Yeah, but I think the Vegas odds lean more towards Green Bay because I don't know if this is still true, that Chicago has the longest chances of the 3 NFC North teams to even make the playoffs. Their schedule gets hard.
That's only, I saw the same thing, Pearl, but that's only if the Packers win this game, then they have the highest percentage chance. Yes.
Right. But Vegas is giving the Packers a touchdown advantage here.
Yeah,
so I'm saying Vegas sees Green Bay as the better team.
You're right.
The Rams look to bounce back from last week's disappointing performance against the Carolina Panthers. They get division foe Arizona in Glendale at 4:25 Eastern time.
Is this one of those divisional matchups where Arizona comes out of nowhere and plays this a much closer game than you'd expect? Jacoby Brissett is actually completely turned into a pumpkin, and I love Jacoby Brissett. But on paper, this is a Rams easy win. Same thing last week. I feel like the Rams are a team who will play down their competition occasionally. I mean, they've won a lot of blowouts this year, but I feel like they could make this game interesting for no logical reason.
I think the Rams are going to come in refocused here. I know Sean McVay said that they weren't overlooking the Carolina Panthers. I'm going to call BS on that. I think that Arizona is going to get a little of the pent-up frustration from that Rams defense of how they laid an egg against Bryce Young last week.
I feel like it was a misty day or a rainy day in Carolina. I feel like playing outdoors in the rain is not a strong suit for the Rams.
And finally, on Sunday Night Football, the Chiefs will get their first opportunity to tickle tonsils down the stretch as they host the Houston Texans on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, major implications for this game as well. I mean, obviously for Houston, who's fighting still, for a playoff spot. It's same for Kansas City. I mean, Andy Reid said it, Pearl, that they have no margin for error. They are maybe down 3 offensive linemen in this game. So Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter could have a day. This could be the final final nail in the coffin for the Chiefs' run of dominance.
Yeah, I mean, how do you play an offense when you are facing the most brutal? Right there. I don't know if they're the one or two, with Denver being in the mix too, as the most brutal pass rush in the league with no tackles. You got to get rid of the ball fast. You got to do screen passes. You got to do everything you can to cheat this. And I give Andy Reid a chance here, because if there's any OC who can figure this out, it'll be him.
They got to Josh Allen 8 times, this Texans defense. Kansas City currently has a 34% chance to make the playoffs. If they lose to Houston, it drops to 11%. Yikes. All right, there's your NFL in 60. Let's get to Andrew Bogusch, who's got the latest headlines.
Mom, Dad, it would not be an NFL game without significant injury news. Cowboys receiver C.D. Lamb suffered a concussion in the third quarter of Thursday Night Football, his head slamming off the turf as he tried to make a twisting, jumping catch in the end zone. And now reports this morning say Lions safety Brian Branch may have suffered an Achilles injury last night. Further testing needed for a full diagnosis. As for the game, those Lions saw a 27-9 lead cut to 3 before winning 44-30. It was kind of a must-win for both teams, so Jared Goff happy to get the W.
It was good. It felt like we got back to kind of who we are earlier in the week, addressed a lot of what happened in that Packers game, what went wrong, what could have done better, and I think you could see an uptick in urgency from everybody. It was good.
The Lions lost to the Packers on Thanksgiving. They now haven't lost back-to-back games since weeks 7 and 8 of the 2022 season. Goff throwing for 309 yards and a score, handed off to Jahmyr Gibbs for 3 TDs. Cowboy QB Dak Prescott sacked 5 times, picked off twice. His team now barely alive in the playoff chase at 6-6-1. J.J. McCarthy has cleared concussion protocol, so he should play Sunday against the Commanders. Justin Herbert back at practice yesterday, 3 days after surgery to place a plate and multiple screws in his broken left hand. And Eagles D-tackle Jalen Carter will miss at least Monday Night Football with those Chargers following some sort of medical procedure on his shoulders, which have been a problem for most of this season.
You know, it's weird because this Jalen Carter thing is obviously, it's a big deal, Pearl, right? You know,
yeah, it's a big man.
Well, that and
is
also
a big deal, yeah.
We see how different the Eagles' defense is with him and without him. But, Bogues, you were saying that this is not surgery, because I'm looking at the New York Post, so take that for what it is.
Yeah.
Eagles' Jalen Carter undergoes surgery on both shoulders, but that's actually deceiving, right?
Yeah, I mean, Adam Schefter was responding to tweets yesterday, one in particular from, I always forget his name, the former Chargers doctor.
Dr. Chow.
Dr. Chow.
And he used,
big fan of the show, by the way.
I think he used the term therapeutic intervention, because Dr. Chow was talking about PRP shots. Because double shoulder surgery is an oddity and wouldn't just be week to week.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Feels like you might have to sit a few plays out for that one.
So
it feels double shoulders, or we'll see you in 2027 is what I would think.
So now, I mean, could it? So the idea of him being cut open and hacked and whatever is probably not true. Whether it was just PRP or something other like that, I don't know what they can put in you to loosen up ligaments or rebuild cartilage or whatever. But I don't think maybe a scalpel was involved in this.
Yeah, but usually if it's a PRP, like the platelet-rich plasma, where they kind of spin your blood, and sometimes they add some things to it, and sometimes guys go to Germany for it and all of that stuff.
Well, it used to be illegal here. That's why you had to go to Germany. Now you're allowed to get it. Yeah, my wife just had one of those shots.
Yeah, right.
For her shoulder.
But also, sometimes we don't even know about that. You don't, unless the guys were going to Germany like Christian McCaffrey did or Kobe back in the day, I don't think that we even have to know. This we definitely know about. And when someone asked Jalen Carter what caused the issues, he said, quote, "That's my problem to deal with. I am going to tell everybody what I'm going through." What did you call it? Therapeutic intervention?
This is what Schefter tweeted, therapeutic intervention.
It sounds like something that happens after a couple goes through a rough patch.
Family
right, Dr.
Yeah,
Dr. Phil comes barging in.
Right, it's like, well, you had a dalliance with the babysitter, so now we have to do some therapeutic intervention.
So if it is PRP,
that might involve a scalpel.
Folks, if it is PRP, your wife and Jalen Carter are same.
Yeah, and it did not. That shot did not work for my wife.
No way.
Yeah, hopefully he has better luck if that's what he got than she did.
Wait, how do you know it didn't work?
Because it didn't fix her rotator cuff pain.
But she had surgery.
Because the shot didn't
she
fix
did the shot first. Got it.
The shot was the last effort to avoid surgery, and it actually created a second problem.
Did she have a cortisone shot too? and that didn't work? Because that's like the
Let's
obvious.
go through your wife's
But
whole medical history
shot,
on the air.
cortisone shot is like pain. It's not meant to. I don't think it's meant to fix things. Like a PRP shot can fix a problem because it can strengthen and like regrow and whatever. So like that was a fix that didn't work.
So a cortisone shot is to reduce all the swelling so you can do PT on it. That's what. Right. And I imagine that Jalen Carter's had a bunch of those.
I would think.
I hope.
I would think.
They weaken your ligaments. That's the fear of cortisone shots. So they got to be careful because he's 24. I hope he sticks around a long time.
But when my wife had her PRP shot, like they spun her blood right next to her. Like the machine is right there.
Oh, that's fun.
And then takes the shot. And the shot was super painful. The shot of itself sucks. Just getting the shot.
Oh, because they put it into the muscle or something?
It goes, yes. They have to, it goes deep enough. They have to do it with, not an X-ray.
An MRI, yeah.
They have to do why am I blanking on this name too? Like when you're having a baby, like the sonogram,
Ultrasound?
Like they have to watch where the needle is going so it goes in the right place.
They do that with cortisone shots too.
Yeah.
That happened to me because I've gotten 3 of them. My knee, my hip, and my shoulder. You got to keep it going in basketball. They do an MRI on your hip. What happened to Jalen? How do you hurt both shoulders? Nobody's
running
explained this to
into
me.
300-pound offensive linemen.
But it feels
tackling
like
people on both sides.
But shoulders is like I don't understand how you hurt both shoulders. It's like we were joking the other day about Carson Wentz spraining 2 ankles on the same play.
Yeah,
I feel
both
like
ankles.
you get one shoulder.
That would make me nervous too. That whatever happened to him, that it's in both, makes me feel as a qualified doctor that it's like something like chronic. You don't like it's not like
pain or something,
or like I don't know,
tendinitis
like or arthritis or some kind
too
of like
young for that, isn't it?
I don't know that you can be too young for arthritis.
Tickle tonsils.
Or that.
EJ, you had labrum surgery, right?
No, I actually did not get the surgery. I tried to do rehab, and I was fine, and then I re-injured my shoulder, and that was not fine.
Oh, man. Did you get a PRP shot?
I suggest you get surgery if you have a labrum issue.
Honestly, you should take your honeymoon to Germany just to
get
kill
a bunch
2
of
birds
treatment.
with one stone. You can go to Munich and then also just like get some platelet.
Yeah, Andre, I
rich
know. I'm
plasma.
sorry. I know you want to go,
To
on
Hawaii.
a beach somewhere.
Yeah, sounds romantic.
But you know what? Actually, we need to go
We're
to
gonna
the
be in a
Alps.
sweaty beer hall.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go get some shots.
I mean,
You'll love it.
I'm not going to say that any team in particular should take HGH, but we got Lane Johnson hurt, we got Cam Jurgens hurt, we got Jalen Carter. Just get the damn PEDs into the building in Philly, please.
PEDs. I know it's a quick term, but do you guys see like Gary Sheffield just pretending like he didn't use PEDs and that's why he should be in the Hall of Fame? He was like, I'm not like one of those dirty cheaters. I'm like, excuse me, weren't you in the Balco reports? What am I missing with Gary Sheffield?
Tough one for Gare.
That was some big meaty men slapping meat. And I love Gary Sheffield. He was one of the most feared hitters of my day watching baseball as a kid. But, I mean, bro, you admitted you got injected.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? Does he think there's a statute of limitations on
steroid
admissions?
A lot of guys are doing that. Doesn't Bonds want to get in? Clemens, all these guys, they
No,
had
but
him
he says
dead to
I was
right.
clean, not like those other steroid guys.
Oh, right.
I'm like,
I heard
what
the
is he talking
allegation.
about?
I gotta play this, unfortunately. What a bleep and finish for the Sixers and Warriors last night.
Sixers down by 1. They double Maxey. Maxey dribbles to the right side. Hangs, fires, short, rebound up and in. Bona put it in. .9. Warriors inbound. Melton has it. Melton puts it in. Blocked. And the Sixers win the game. And they storm the court. The 76ers win by a point.
Tom McGinnis on Sixers radio. So just to recap, Tyrese Maxey airballs a tough fall-away wing jumper. It was rookie VJ Edgecombe that caught it midair and laid it in. The Warriors throw a 90-foot inbounds pass. DeAnthony Melton's about to lay it in for the winning points, but Maxey pins it to the glass, and Philly wins 99-98. And you're wearing a Mavs hat this morning.
T-Wolves.
Still not a Sixers hat.
Well, I wore my Bucks hat yesterday and nobody said anything. It was
I
like,
noticed it. I didn't want to.
I thought you were going to bring it up
For
on
Giannis.
air. Yeah. You didn't do anything with it.
This was an incredible play because the Sixers should have been killed. They let Melton just sneak past them with 1 second left to get a wide open layup the court. And Edgecombe blocked it. He didn't just pin it. The ball was blocked so hard it came out the half court. It was bizarre. But yeah, Sixers with a big win against a Warriors team with no Curry.
No Curry, no Butler, and Draymond got hurt in the first quarter.
Yeah, that game was way too hard.
And Draymond said it's really hard for him to be on the East Coast now because, as you were telling us before, Bogues, his wife is pregnant. She's due like any second. Meanwhile, Luka went to Slovenia for the birth of his kid, but Draymond's like, well, this is my job, so I'm going to stay with the team.
Is he not good enough anymore to Just say I'm
Take a
going
break.
home.
Yeah, this is 5
I mean,
years
do they
ago.
really-
I'm so confused by this.
What's the point of having Draymond out there with no Curry to Butler to throw to anyway? You might as well just send him home. But Pat Spencer, who I unfortunately called Australian this morning. He's not Australian. He played lacrosse. I knew there was something quirky about this guy.
Wait a minute, what?
Same.
This is the conversation
Yeah.
me and Perloff had. He was like, "Hey, that Australian guy wearing number 61 was really good for the Warriors last night." And I was
The
like,
guy is
I know
a
Spencer
white
wears
guy with a
61.
beard wearing number 61. That doesn't say Australia to you?
Well, he also was wearing. He always wears like a T-shirt underneath his jersey,
Yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
also throws me off.
He's got a massive European vibe to him.
His brother's in the NBA too, by the way.
Is he really?
His brother plays for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, remember we talked about him because he's like a real lacrosse player. He was like a lacrosse legend.
Yeah. His brother won that championship. His brother played at UConn.
Amazing. He went off last night. NBA, man. NBA in December, you never know who's going to show up on a
There
given
are
night.
guys playing for the Celtics. Jordan Walsh, is that Brandon's younger brother? I don't understand
Oh, yeah, that guy.
where'd he come from.
Oh, he was at Arkansas.
I love it. We're always
That
like-
doesn't help me.
We're always
Sorry.
watching a game. I'm like, this guy is so-and-so, and he's just like, what are you talking about? That guy was the number 6 pick
Yeah.
by the Cavs in 2023. I'm
The
like,
amount
really?
of times that EJ says he was a top 10 pick is alarming for the show.
but then you look at his stats. He's like averaged 3.2 points per game
Very
in a
true.
6-year career. Like,
By the way, though, Pearl, you wore the Bucks hat yesterday. None of us commented on it because the Giannis trade rumors, et cetera, et cetera. See, Giannis out now a month. They're saying 2 to 4 weeks.
did they get a report? I actually didn't
Yes,
see that. Oh
this
my
is-
God! So that kind of kiboshes a trade for now.
Well, the trade deadline's not until February. So,
But I mean, a calf injury is 2 inches away from being out for 2 years.
well, get ready because you don't think
Yeah.
your 76ers are going to be in play for Giannis. It's going to be your worst nightmare. You love this team now,
Hmm.
but I feel like Daryl Morey has never met a star he didn't want to trade for.
Would they take Embiid in return? Anybody at any time?
Not just Embiid. No, it's going to have to be way more assets than that.
Well, obviously you wouldn't trade Maxey or Edgecombe. So what other assets do the Sixers have? I mean, please take Joel Embiid and Paul George. Take them now.
Yeah, well, that's not going to be that easy. But
If
anyway,
that's the
he's-
trade, I'm calling for an investigation.
yeah, seriously.
Is that
Get
but
Pablo
that
Torre
kind of
on
makes
that
some
one.
sense. I mean, Milwaukee would want something back. At least you can, I don't know, put Embiid on a poster. I don't. You might not see him on the court. Embiid is younger, I think, than Giannis.
But yeah, Giannis out 2 to 4 weeks. Bummer.
By the way, I would not normally do this, but we can't do it in the next break, so I got to do it here. For those who were wondering about the Carissa Thompson, Richard Sherman bizarre situation,
Oh, yeah.
I actually found it. Play it.
They had so much depth. They had so much.
I'm going to interrupt you real quick, Sherm. We're going to say hello to Jerry Jones. Making his way behind the set, of course. It's live television. We have to wait.
I didn't hear what you were saying. That's okay. Jerry didn't want to listen to you.
No, we do want to hear what you're saying, but we also like to look at our surroundings here. That's the bit fun about being here at the games. To finish that thought, Sherm.
No question about it.
Honestly, yeah, a little awkward, but as good as you can handle it.
Yeah, Jerry walked behind them.
Yeah, once it's on camera, you should acknowledge
you see Jerry
it.
Jones walking by. Yeah. But it was
She was respectful about it.
Yeah. It's funny, other guys are just like, hey, Jerry. He just ignores him, just keeps walking.
Are you asking me?
Yeah, that's tough.
I was wrong, by the way. Embiid 6 months older than Giannis, but they're about the same age. Let's make this trade happen. I
No.
love it.
Not just 1 for 1. No way.
Well, no, not 1 for 1. I mean, you give a first-round pick, Embiid, and somebody.
Is there a usable player in this?
The Liberty Bell's got to be in that trade. For,
I just want
you take
Embiid out of this.
Kyle
list.
Schwarber goes to the Brewers in this trade too. How does this work?
Can we get A.J. Brown in there somehow?
Yeah, you could have him and Kyle Schwarber, by the way.
Yeah, I love it how Perloff wants A.J. Brown gone for George Pickens. Like,
Oh,
all right.
Pickens 100 out of 100 over A.J. Brown.
The Philadelphia
A.J. Brown can't
Flyers-
beat 101 anymore at all.
Philadelphia Flyers now become the Milwaukee Flyers
Wait.
in this Giannis trade.
Is there anyone here who wouldn't take George Pickens over A.J. Brown?
No, but you're just asking for one potential headache for another. Like, let's see what George Pickens is like in a locker room when he's not playing for a contract.
I know, and that's why the Embiid for Giannis straight up is not happening.
All right, we got to take a quick break. Folks, thanks so much. Coming up, Kalen DeBoer talking about not only Alabama's chances in the conference championship game against Georgia, but also rumors that he was fancying the Penn State job. MMP.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
All right, eBay is home to millions of finds, and each one becomes part of your story. From your favorite vintage band tee to the dream car you've been searching for, it's all there. eBay things people love. All right, EJ, what's happening right now in the association?
Well, one of the NBA's greatest rivalries gets renewed tonight as the Lakers travel to face the Boston Celtics on Amazon Prime. Luka Doncic, as we mentioned earlier, not expected to play as he and his fiancée welcome a new baby, but Austin Reeves is. And Reeves has been one of the NBA's biggest surprises this season, averaging 28 points a game. Maggie and Pearl, in the post-LeBron world in L.A., can Doncic and Reeves be a championship duo?
If the Oklahoma City Thunder get trapped in some kind of basement somewhere, then maybe. But while the Thunder are right now kind of in their prime, Pearl, I think it's going to be really hard for that duo because they don't play nearly enough defense. Obviously, the two of them are both kind of a defensive liability, and I don't know if the Lakers could hang with the Thunder.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the playoffs are going to be brutal in the West, too, because you have Jokic. Wemby at some point is going to become a dominant force. And the Rockets have all this, like, everything in on, the future as well. Maybe the present with KD. It's just a tough playoff field. I mean, the top 6 in the West are awesome. And the Lakers have, I know they got the Western Conference Finals a few years ago, but they basically, like, even to win a round is hard in the West. So, no, I don't think they're going to win the title. And then if they get to the East, they're facing the Knicks. And we all know how that's going to go.
Meanwhile, let's talk a little college football. EJ, thank you. Before we say goodbye today, which is the SEC championship game, Alabama, very slim underdog to Georgia. The last I saw, Pearl, 2.5 points. But here's Alabama head coach Kalen DeBoer having to defend that he really loves this Alabama job and he does not want to be the next head coach at Penn State.
We're extremely happy at Alabama. It's the first time I've been asked, so I appreciate you, Charlie. And we're extremely happy here. Love the challenge, love the grind, love this place. And there's never been any link. There's never been any conversation. There's never been any interest either way. And so I'm glad we can put that to bed right now.
Was that sarcastic? I haven't been asked about this, so thank you. I couldn't tell. Anyway.
I think it was literal.
I kind of believe him, actually. Now, I don't know if his agent was trying to use Penn State to get more money from Alabama. By the way, I don't think that's going to work. I still think that Kalen DeBoer is working at the favor of Alabama, not the other way around. You got to win some more games, I think, to get a little more leverage over on the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, I mean, playoffs will determine this. I think he's had a sort of a turnaround season from last year. Last year was a bit of a mess. Jalen Milroe was not the right quarterback for his system. I feel like they will not hold it against him if they lose this game. Do you?
The committee, I agree with you 100%. And I don't know if it's necessarily because like they love this Alabama team or they feel like this Alabama team deserves it, although Alabama may have the best individual win of the entire season when they went to Georgia and won. But I think that the college football powers are still very interested in protecting these conference championship games.
Yeah, for money.
It's for money. Yeah, it's not a naked money grab, but these conference championship games I don't think really serve a purpose anymore because look at the ACC. The ACC is UVA playing Duke, Pearl, and everyone thinks Miami is the best team of the conference. So the conference championship game in some cases is not even determining who's the best team in the conference.
Well, I mean, Miami did blow 2 games in the ACC.
They did, but they'd be favored probably over more teams in the field of 12 than either UVA or Duke.
I mean, I think this is a bit of an anomaly what happened in Miami in the ACC this year. But, yeah, the conferences are too big. The schedules are too imbalanced. You're going to have nothing but chaos. I saw on ESPN, it must have been SVP saying this is just an unusual year. But is it, though? Because with these big conferences, I think you're going to have the same kind of controversy every single year, where you don't know if the 13th team is better or worse than the 3rd team.
Yeah, you could have said the same thing about last year if Indiana wasn't as good this year, right? Because Indiana would have been that team a year ago.
But how do you know? You put Indiana and Miami, and you have no idea. I mean, you really have not seen enough Indiana to know how they would handle that game.
Meanwhile, BYU, Texas Tech will have the biggest implications conference championship weekend, and I think that BYU could pull the upset. EJ Stewart, thank you so much. Andrew Scarpacci, great job. Thank you to Andrew Bogish, Andrew Kaplan, Weedos, Coffee Drinkers. Have a great weekend.